Welcome back. We didn't know if we were going to stream today, so I'm happy to report that, in fact, we are, and that so many of you have already decided to join us. Welcome back to Evandale and the very first episode of Mütvia. What's up, gang?
Hello.
There we
Fucking in here.
Hello.
What's up, motherfucker?
I'm rolling deep.
So I gotta say if you're just watching this for the very first time and you don't know what the fuck Mütvia is a country within the larger world of Evandale, a TTRPG campaign setting. Mütvia is a place of absolute dark horror, and I put out there on socials. It's going to be time for what I say. Yeah, dark, horrific, epic, and that's just the characters. It begins now. I had no idea that these fucking amazing people off to my, which would be on the screen on the right side, would be creating the monsters, and it's them who fear the villagers. So so we're going to be discovering a lot about that, and just so though everyone out there is aware, and also you, the amazing players, are politely reminded, house rules basically say you can have any change to your character until you hit 3rd level. Therefore, everyone here can be as inconsistent as is necessary for them to use this world to discover their character. Many of them don't know anything about the world of Evandale, and therefore they're going to be finding out about it alongside you. So to tell that story, I'm going to introduce the players. I pass it to you, Aetherius.
I knew it.
Yeah.
It's my burden to bear, like just being directly next to Steve in the overlay, and I accept that. I will wear that on my shoulders. Hello, hi. My name is Aetherius Bordeaux. I'm known around the internet as Vampire Himbo, and that's where you can find me on most socials, except for TikTok and Twitch, where it is Vampire_Himbo. But honestly, your best bet is to just go to linktree.com/Vampire Himbo. I am playing Elias. Who is an oracle, who is a black man, darker skinned than I am, who has like very, very tightly knit cornrows that go back. And my character concept, Elias is, like many others, as Steve pointed out, very new to Mütvia insofar as that he is an immigrant. He's been there for less than 2 years. It's been a very eventful 2 years. And I'll just say that he has a princedom or domain, right?
Yeah,
I think.
yeah.
Look at me learning shit.
Well, he's about to get one. He's not quite starting off with one, but he's kind of getting one.
I was gonna say, like, he has one that he is like wants to reclaim.
Yes,
because he believes it has been like stolen from him. And I'm gonna pass it over to Yuri.
Hello, everybody. So my name is Yudi. That is at Yudi and the Beast everywhere, especially on Threads, the only place that matters. I will be playing Delia. She is a Theraf, or how did you pronounce it?
Theraf, a catfolk.
Theraf. Sorry. She is a Theraf. Which means basically a cat person. She is very like warm, olive toned, with her hair being like very, very curly and like dark. Her ears are also the same color as her hair. She's very like nimble. She is with kind of like a nomad, doesn't know who her parents are, where she comes from, was taken in, and grew up just learning about all the superstitions and everything around the world. So hopefully that comes in handy. She is always wearing a cloak with the hood up to hide her ears and her tail. And I will go ahead and pass it over to Stacy because she's so excited.
Oh, well, I just am very happy about your ears. I think they're very cute on you. Hi, I am Stacy the Linguist. You can find me at Stacy the Linguist on Twitch and TikTok and Instagram and Threads now. It's debatable whether I'm active on any of those, but it's fine. Let's see. I think that's it about me.
What is your character?
Okay, my character. Yes, my character, they, them pronouns, Tojada. Tojado. Hold on, I forget how my.
Tojado.
Yeah, with it's an O at the end. Tojado. And they are a druid that is actually very much. Unlike everybody else, is very connected with the land and with Mütvia in general, and has like a lot of
Please tell me my mute worked.
like knowledge about like superstitions and stuff.
Sorry.
Bless you, darling.
Keep going.
I'm so
You're
sorry.
It's all right. Don't apologize. Just keep
It's all
going.
good.
Stacy, come on.
Tojado became afflicted with a type of lycanthropy and has developed some scales and some venom. I know it's a little more. I wanted to get it more on the face, but it's okay. We were just practicing today, so is developing scales and venom. And an accident happened in their hometown in which somebody died because of their venom, and so now they're out searching for potentially a cure for their flavor of lycanthropy, but is very connected with the Drosti.
Drosty,
yes.
yeah.
Is very connected with the Drosti, and so is an herbalist. Yeah, so is going around looking for like ingredients and helping people.
What do you mean?
Popcorn Chris. You didn't have to choke on the popcorn.
That was
Yeah.
almost as bad as my sneezing.
I didn't mean to throw it to the back of your throat. I was just trying to get.
Hey everybody, I'm Chris. I'm Vendorsa1 on Twitch and Tend to My Flames on Instagram and Threads and everywhere else, and Lord of Hot Dog on the TTRPG Collective. I am playing Vin Balhalamut, and he is a young, somewhat tall sorcerer covered from head to toe in runes.
Was he look-
real traumatized upbringing. He looks
Tell
like
us what he looks like, because I forgot to do that part
Tulak!
other than the scale. So you should tell us what you look like.
Hold on, we just got a raid of 59 people.
Hi,
whoa.
Hi, Tulak.
And
Okay.
thank you so much for that. I'm sorry, my
Good
system
timing too.
That's awesome.
my system just went and all the stats went down. Hi
Yes,
everyone, welcome to
that was
Evadale.
Will, who was on the Roll D5 team.
Oh really? Oh no shit! Just raiding. All right, cool. Well, thank you so much for
yeah.
thank you so much for that raid. Really sincerely appreciate it. What is that? 59 people came in.
Hey, pew pew pew.
Pretty popular with the
That's
Elden
amazing.
Ring crowd.
That's fucking awesome. Oh, Elden Ring. Hello, welcome to a dark fantasy world. You
Yeah, I
may
was gonna
like
say,
it.
I see a thread there.
Thank you, 10th Wing. Thank you so much for that. Chris, go on, please. Describe your character just as we get started.
I imagine my character as being almost ashen toned in his skin. And like I said, covered from head to toe in runes. He wears almost like a plague doctor's outfit just because he doesn't want anyone in the land of Mütvia seeing his runes. So he's just covered up entirely and wears a hat to cover up the rune on his forehead, the single rune on his forehead.
Hell yeah.
And he is just a traumatized sorcerer just trying to belong somewhere.
Oh,
Oh, I fucking love that story that I'm about to smash to pieces.
Oh, lovely. I'll give this one to On. I won't choke you with it like fucking Stacy did to me.
I was trying to be gentle.
Oh, that's also what she said. Hi, yeah, my name is On, also known as Onduin, and if that name sounds familiar, it's because it's a play off of the River Anduin from Lord of the Rings. I am not obsessed with Lord of the Rings. I don't know who told you that or where you got that idea, but I will be playing a lovely character named Belle, who I believe we set her as a wizard.
The wizard.
A wizard. That's not the voice I'm going to use. Just had to,
Should-
Oh no,
that.
you're locked in. Too late.
Oh,
You gotta be a little guy.
I am the other wizard.
I am the wizard.
This is my wife.
This is
All right.
how much you make me feel
dear.
Sorry.
and Belle
We're so serious.
just came out of a grave, so
Yeah.
she's very sunken-eyed, has like this like inky blackness coming from the center point in her forehead, almost like when I look naturally. There's no makeup or VFX going on right now; it's all real. And I think that's it. Speaking of my wife, we'll go to Aaron.
Hello, hi. I'm Aaron, or Aaron My Laundry Everywhere, and I am the founder of the TTRPG Collective and the storyteller to Philadelphia by Night over on Impact Crit.
Hey.
And Justin, thank you for the sub.
Thanks, buddy. I promise I won't kill you in an upcoming Philly by Night game.
You won't. because
You guys are
I
gonna
will be
kiss,
there.
is what I want to see.
We don't.
I'm always in chat like, just kiss.
True enemies to lovers arc, and I think those two characters will
Knuckles
do it
and
perfectly.
Jace. Yeah, they're banging.
Aaron,
Anyways,
as you were saying.
no, it's okay. Let's talk about ships on Philadelphia by Night. So we've got Knuckles and Jace, and I'm gonna ship Jean-Pierre and Chase Ironblood.
You know, it's been
I
nice.
feel
It's been so great, TTRPG community.
Okay. I love all
I feel
y'all.
like
Let's get
been
going
nice. I
here.
bid you adieu. At this point, I'm going to go jump into an active volcano. It's been real.
Right now.
All right.
Boo.
Today I will be playing Mercy. She is a void elf, a Thadiel in Evandale lore. A psychic is the class, so she communicates and has her powers via nightmares. She leached on to Belle as she was in the grave and kind of just infested her mind with nightmares, and now they're in love, or will be. It'll be great. So we're
They're
gonna find
gonna
out
kiss.
Shoot, how
so
did
much
we
about
say
that.
How did we say Mercy again?
Just Mercy. We said it Mercy.
Well, in Mütvia.
Oh,
It was
I
Mercy.
thought I wrote this down actually.
Toy.
Holy shit.
I think it was
It
just
was like
the spelling
Chatoy,
was
I think.
different, right?
Chatoy. That's
Was
what
it?
it was.
Toy. Yeah, you're right. So Chatoy.
Damn, look
Fucking iron trap up here, dude. Fucking.
Damn.
Anything
And I'll
else, Aaron?
popcorn over to Steve. Yeah.
My name's Steve, or SJ, whichever you prefer. A voice actor in video games, but for tonight, the GM and creator of the world of Evandale. Having said that, welcome to it. The land of Mütvia. Land of 1,000 princes, huh? No centralized government anywhere. We, the Mütvi, we enjoy our home. A place where even the farmer can claim that their land itself is their domain. And until they are actually challenged and killed, they are a prince. This is why we have our country's name. But even then, while we have no central government like many of the other countries, the Republic over there, a tyranny over there, here we have a different kind of master. The land itself. The land, we affectionately call it Nordaga. This is the patron deity of Mütvia. We all know that Nordaga is nature. The mudslide that comes down and destroys our village. That is, unfortunately, Mütvia. The bountiful harvest in the 8th or 9th month, that is Nordaga. The creatures that come over to our homes at night or ransack the living souls. That is also Nordaga. But it is also through Nodaga's language that we bind ourselves to each other. So whether we are a tyrannical prince of draconian nature, where we just want to kill everything, because if we do not, they will be weak when the land calls them. Or if we are a commoner and we belong to a guild, or we are a farmer, We are the body of the land then. Or like me, a Drosti. We travel this place. We ignore all the political boundaries because Nordaga does not have boundaries. And so I give you your first piece of lore. If you find in your travels at night, which is unwise in its own right, the old crone whose back is turned, when she come to look at you, make sure you run for your life, because your entrails will be on the wall and your skin will become the paper on the outside of your home. That is Nordaga. And our acknowledgement of where we live and why we live here is what makes us all Mütvia. Outsiders do not understand us. They don't understand the land. They come in with their swords. They try to kill all the beasts and the undead that plague this place. What they do not understand is that a good bundle of herbs, a select few, can also chase away the night and these creatures. This is the other thing that binds us all together. So as you go on this journey now with us, through this land of 1,000 princes, keep that in mind, for your superstitions are our way of life. Mütvia registoi, my family. Welcome to Mütvia.
Damn.
You should be a voice actor.
I know, you would imagine.
Oh my god, you should do that like professionally.
The three of you, well, excuse me, 3 of you and 3 of you into 2 separate groups have found yourself up there in the northern reaches of the land. Mütvia itself, many different domains, are split up in between forests and valleys and rivers and mountains and so much more, like any other place. But this land is dark. The ground itself, where you happen to be, is of note, different than most any other place. It is thick. It is heavy, as if it is always like mud, but doesn't quite feel like mud. Instead, it feels greasy. Every single step you take sinks just a little bit deeper into the ground here, because the land is filled with the rendered fat of every single person here who has died but was never taken in by the land. Their blood continues to soak into the soil, and so most people's shoes have a stained, rusty red feel to them. This is the vibe of the land, and above the clouds, always gray, thunder always threatening rain somewhere in the distance, a smell mixed of copper and petrichor is always there. We find ourselves in 2 places tonight. The very first is a village. Here we see Elias, Dojado, and Wandelia. They have just come in on a, shall we say, their own little adventures. Tonight we start with them, and then we will migrate over to Belle and Mercy and Vin and find out what exactly is happening to them. But since this is a story, and this is only chapter 1, we're going to keep it brief before Mütvia claims their souls. Group number 1 in the village, take it from here. Elias, you have just pulled Dojado out of the house. You turned around and here see wagons now coming your way. There with Delia, who is also in accompaniment with many of the other Drosti, red scarves on their heads and around their waists, indicating that they believe that they are descended from the great adventurer Vorain. You know of them. You came across their kind about 2 years ago when they tried to help you. But now you have saved another Dojado. What are you doing now? Because you are now about to be hunted. Tell us why you are in such danger and what you do from here.
Yeah, so Tojado at this point is panting, kind of sweaty, eyes wide, as I'm sure like Elias is kind of like dragging them from inside this house. I had arrived at this village seeking solace with like a friend of mine, trying to come back and reconnect with the town that was once mine. But unfortunately, because some people aren't a fan of lycanthropy, it doesn't matter if it's natural or afflicted, there are people hunting me down to finish me off and take me away from my beautiful land. So, sweating, panty, being dragged along. Do you know who that guy was?
I don't, but do you have a death wish? My God, we've got to get out of here.
What makes you think I have a death wish? Oh, I kind of spot Delia. Delia, darling, where is your Vrojiti? Where is she?
She is right here. They saw you guys. Come to the wagon before they come after you.
Yes, absolutely. I don't know if we are being followed.
I do want to say, I hate to impose. We don't mean to cause any trouble, but if you could
Who
maybe
are you,
save
by
us
the
from
way?
them, that would be
We have
fantastic.
not met before. I do not know your name. Who are you?
Oh,
I know who Delia is. Why were you there in the first place?
well, I saw you going into that cabin, and I thought to myself, like, knowing Mütvia, which I'm super familiar with, and
Yes,
seeing
you
you
sure
go in
sound
there.
like it.
Oh yeah, you can tell that I'm completely
Uh-huh.
natural here. I just am a good Samaritan, my dear, and I saw somebody that was in trouble.
Right.
I heard the noise
Right.
happening in the cabin, and I thought, you know what? My job, my responsibility to the Norjagla
I'm
is
kind of like
to
pulling
save this
Delia
person.
aside. Delia, we need to speak to your Vrojiti immediately. Do you know this man?
Yes, actually.
Oh, you do?
Elias is gonna like nod politely to Delia.
Hello, we meet again.
Under
time-
less than ideal circumstances, but
It's not like the first time was ideal.
Do you vouch
circumstances
for this
either.
man? Do you vouch for him?
I don't know. We shall go to my Vrojiti and see if they do. But for now, let's get you out of danger. To the wagons.
The danger, as soon as those words are uttered, you hear the clacking of a body moving in the house. Remember, you planted a crossbow bolt in an enemy who was about to take down Tojado, but now you can hear just a mere 10 or 15 feet away some sort of clamoring. It looks like that they're going to be active again.
I forgot to mention this. I don't think the guy in there is dead. I did try to murder him after he tried to murder Tridado. Is that the right pronunciation?
Tojado.
Trajado.
The door opens.
My God.
Unstable
Come.
legs trying to hold up an upper frame as a crossbow, heavy in nature, pointed at you. The crossbow bolt slips out. What are you doing?
I'm sure we're like scampering away at this point.
I'm gonna Elias is gonna dive to save Trojado in this moment. This is like he makes a calculation in the split second that it is like strategically sound to kind of like prove himself to this person. Dahlia he's interacted with before. This is like a new quantity. And so this is gonna, in his mind, like maybe get him in good. And so he's gonna like dive to get Trojado out of the crossbolt's way.
So
Can you like roll to impress me?
the last thing that I had said, I just remembered the last thing that I said in the last game is that there was a large gentleman that had left Dahlia's caravan, came on over to the door, smashed the door open, and then stood there and took 2 bolts to the door. This man, looking at him, realizing another crossbow bolt I'm trying to mesh these 2 accidents together. Realizing another crossbow bolt just flew past him. What are you doing? You are so stupid. Why do you... And then steps in, shuts the door, and the last thing you hear is... And then a gnashing of teeth and a ripping of flesh, the cracking of bone. Then when he comes
Come
out...
now, friends.
The
My
bald.
Ajobarji will take care of him. Let's go to the wagon.
I think he may, given that what I just said, already be taken care of, but we nonetheless appreciate the hospitality.
The door opened. He's bald, bare-chested, a smear of blood across his flesh. Even now, the hair on his chest falling back into the skin. He looks at his feet, at his fingertips. Just now, the last of the talons come back into his fingers. It's meat now. He goes forward. Delia, you know who this person is. He goes by the name of Sirjan. He goes by many other names. The big, bald guy who is of the Lupushkoi.
Yes, I see you have taken care of him.
It was.
I guess he
a thing.
didn't pose much of a threat.
He, let us just say, he's a little bit. He was a hunter, of course, and we do not like the hunters here. So, who are your two friends? He says as he points to Elias and Dojado.
This is
Pleasure to
Elias.
see you again. I don't know if you recall, Surgeon. Thank you for
No,
your
please,
service.
Sergeant is.
You are too kind. You're too kind. I owe you a potion in my thanks for saving my life.
A giant meaty hand comes out to shake yours. Please, I ask that you call me Bolivar.
A kind of like scaly hand kind of like wraps and shakes it in return.
Elias is going to make a quick glance at that scaly hand because, for context, Elias has been tracking Trojado.
Remember, we can't read your character's mind, so tell us how that can be conveyed through face and action.
Elias is going to give an interesting glass, and you see.
Oh, Surgeon, this
Please,
man also was involved in the saving of my life, and I'm not sure who he is, but
Sergeant is family
this
name.
man.
Sergeant is family name. You evoke family with these. Call me by proper name, Bolivar.
Bolivar. I hate to intrude, but my host, it seems, has been dispatched or compromised. Would you be willing to have me stay with you for just a night?
He looks over Delia. Delia.
Well,
I apologize. I'm going to fuck this
Delia,
up.
yes.
Delia, thank you.
Well, hunters never come alone. There's gonna be more of them, and I would not want to leave you both here.
Delia's
I think
not wrong.
Just a night.
Yeah, just a night should be fine. He turns around to the Bargis, the leader of this caravan, gives a nod. Everyone agrees. But then everyone in the caravan then turns and looks at Elias. You do not
Let us
have...
speak with the Vrojiti about our young sir.
He does not... His eyes get a little bit wider. He looks at you, perplexed. He steps forward. And then he leans over. I've met you before.
Maybe you're mistaking me with someone. I feel like I might commit some memory.
No, I know a foreigner's voice. You come from the south. Campfire. We joined you around the campfire 2 years ago.
Okay, above table, have I actually met this person before?
He may have had a little bit of hair then.
Okay. You know what? You look a little bit familiar.
That's right. No, you are already accepted. He completely cuts you off, smacks you right here with a. You just got 5 pounds of ham hock just slapped right into your chest and go. That's right. We took you in as family because you claim land. Come, you go. No argue. And he turns and just starts walking away.
I'm gonna follow my new best friend. I think this way. If you all would like to accompany.
Your pardon?
Yeah, Bolivar. My new bestie.
Bolivar.
Bolivar.
No, Dahlia, can you please? And then he just walks away.
I'll work on that.
Underneath
get
us. Oh,
Let's go. Let's get you some food. You look hungry, among
I could
other
eat.
things.
scrawny and weak, more like.
With everyone on the caravan, conversations now continue. Dojado, the village that you came, that you had belonged to, begins to disappear into the horizon as the caravan continues. The three of you, well, I should say the two strangers, are informed by others you're on a continuance of a trade route. Delia, would you kindly tell us what it is, if you know, what it is that you might be trading here before we move over to the next group?
I think that there have been some attacks lately, and the village that we're going to, that's along the trade route, they're in need of certain trinkets to help them ward off these recent attacks. And we obviously have all manner of things with us all the time for protection. And they asked us for some aid, and we obliged. And so we are on our way to give them those trinkets.
That was so good. The caravan begins to move out, and the view of Nordaga now changes a little to the dark clouds far to the north, all of them just now beginning to rumble with the threats of thunder, and then a crack of lightning that ignites the sky, the perpetual night that is Mütvia. There we find, in a wooded area of nondescript pleasures, thin trees, a barren land, rocks, old rock walls that are fallen here and there. We find 3 individuals and a hole in the ground. One of those individuals is still covered with just a little bit of dirt, while another is covered with a little bit of slime, while the third is covered with a lot of fear.
I've seen. I kind of help you out of the dirt. I've seen you in here.
In mind?
Yeah. Yes, and eyes. Not you. And she points to Vin. No, a stranger.
Yes, I know. You called me a brute.
Yes, I stand by this. I've seen brutes.
I am no brute. Do Faedale, as they come out, do they speak Umbral?
No, they don't necessarily speak Umbran, but that is also the player's choice.
I think Mercy speaks the language that the body had spoken.
Which would be Necrol in Pathfinder lexicon. So Necrol is the language of the undead. But if you want to go down that route, Mercy, I will also give you this. This is a drop of lore that I've never released. The Void has its own language of whispers.
Okay, can I do both of those, but also when this undead was alive, can I also have Averial or Mütvian, I suppose? Can I have Mütvian too?
Yeah, well, we will say that the undead creature had absorbed Mütvian, so I'm going to give you a little something. Whenever Mercy speaks, you hear multiple languages all at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like a wisp. It's literally like if you were to picture what you hear when you have dreams or nightmares, and you think you understand what they're saying, but it sounds a little out of place. So Yeah, so it's like I'm here and I'm helping you out. You are Belle. Because of Belle.
Because of the sound.
Yes. I am Mercy because of
Jatoy.
Chatoy.
Mercy Jatoy. Yes.
And Brute is something else.
Man.
I am Vin.
Vin.
He's
He's. What are we trying to get at right now? I'm not brute.
You're not safe. And I say that very clearly in Mütvian.
Are you threatening me? What is happening right now?
No.
environment not safe.
Mütvia not safe.
No, Mütvia is very dangerous, actually.
I start wiping the dirt off Belle's shoulders. Are you hurt?
She'll like almost like scan her like body that's basically growing back. Things are starting to become a little less blurry, so she like touches her eyes. There's the ink on her face, the now metal finger. No,
I wipe some of the ink off your face and I like look at it. What is this?
I think it is magic. Is it taste bad?
Yes.
Taste bad.
Magic.
Maybe don't eat it.
I look at you, Vin. You have runes on your face, right?
Only on my forehead.
I'm gonna try to wipe your mark off your forehead and lick it too. What magic is this?
Oh no, that does not. Oh, okay. Probably tastes like nothing. Just sweat is probably what you're tasting right now.
That seems salty.
It is salty. It's sweat.
It is salty. Not.
I'm gonna scramble to like get my hat, cover my rune.
But why? It is beautiful.
It is not. People do not like to see that around here.
A crack of thunder rings across the skies in the distance, and with it, a cracking of what seems to be a tree that just exploded nearby, and yet there was no lightning.
Did we see the tree explode?
No, but you heard it. It echoed throughout the area.
That's what's loud.
That is land reclaiming land.
Why does it reclaim?
I don't know. I come from never. Never was. Never is.
But you is now. And she goes to touch you where her ink is. She touches you on the forehead. See? You is here. You is now. You is not never anymore.
Yes. I'm sorry. I need to figure out this. And I like look at my body that like I came out of, like, because it's brand new.
With that, you can feel that the energies of the void are beginning to dissipate around you. It's only been perhaps 5-6 minutes or so since your form erupted from an undead body. It's still covered with a little bit of viscera and entrails and more. that is slowly slacking off. But then again, so are the very methods of communication you were able to use in vitro. The multiple tongues now just coming down to one. Your body now forming itself so completely. Originally, you appeared as a 12-year-old might, but then you begin, before Belle and Vin's eyes begin to mature into what they see now. Can you describe that?
Yeah, it's like it kind of looks like a less intimidating version of that naked hand guy from Pan's Labyrinth. Like you can't, like, you know, it's a humanoid, but it's barely finished in its form. So I want to say it's like a naked Barbie. Like it's just like a silhouette of something. And as it goes to like complete maturity, I go over and I take in your grave, Belle, the body that was there, they're like torn cloths and stuff, and I kind of rip it off the corpse and put it over me as the final like details are created, including hair that kind of sprouts and completes into like this very dark, wiry texture. She's very lithe and very pale, but there's almost like a purple, like what you would expect if you were Mütvian, and or if you understand the elements, what you would expect like Umbra and Void to kind of manifest as. So there's like a weird purple, not purple, like a HP Lovecraft purple kind of aura situation underneath the skin.
While you two are trying to take in Mercy's form, you can hear it again. A snapping of wood, an uprooting of dirt, and a landing of a tree nearby. And then you hear something that is not of nature. A crowd of commoners screaming at the top of their lungs. Slowly as it begins, well, not slowly, quickly as it begins to approach you, trees begin moving aside, and you can see off in the distance the canopy itself starting to move and shake, and then you can feel it there underfoot, vibrations of the ground, every single something beginning to move closer and closer.
We need to go now.
Yes, need to leave. We need to get out of here.
I'm gonna grab Bill's hand.
But what is it?
Ask questions later. We leave now. Can you take us somewhere safe, Brute?
It's Vin, and yes, I will take us somewhere safe.
Take us now, and I push you.
As the three of you begin moving under Vin's direction, just as they get about maybe 50 feet away, the trees begin to part. And through that, you can see a giant boot come out, land down on the ground, and coming out of the boot itself is a half-gnawed off leg. Attached to that leg is the rest of the giant's body, an undead creature completely lurching forward, skeletal hands coming out and trying to pry the woods apart just so it can fit through, and it does. It seems intelligent enough to be able to look around, not just simply amble about, and begins marching across the clearing, coming directly through. But what is behind it is even worse. Moving at a rapid pace with no feet on the ground. The tree, the very first sign that something worse is coming, simply falls over, the lower half of it, fine, severed. And that's when you see the wind itself coalesce into a blade, and that blade is connected to a hilt of, shall we say, souls, and then a skeletal hand on that, and then a sleeve of a gauze-like material. What comes out of the woods is an apparition that none of you have ever seen before. Death itself, for all intents and purposes, is now chasing this thing. What comes out appears skeletal only in your minds, Visually, what you see is just a mist of ink moving through the woods, every now and then coalescing in order to form an appendage, and from that a blade would begins to side almost in like a slow motion form, taking down saplings and trees in front of it. And behind it, by about 200 feet or so, an entire parade of commoners with torches and pitchforks chasing the two of them.
I would like to, knowing that we don't have character sheets or stats or anything, I would like to get a read. Instead of read aura, I'd like to read their fears as we continue to run.
That's the horror of it. You kind of get the sense that not a single one of those incredibly squishy humans is afraid of what lies ahead. And instead, your concentration is drawn towards the figure which is there. It is emanating something. Something, Mercy. You know what it is. Having just arrived from the void, you know exactly what a void white is. And just as your memory of it begins to fade, as one of your kind enters this world, a portal is opened, and through it can pour so many things, including them. Every single one of you, roll a d20. Every single one of you.
I have an additional question, if that's okay.
Yeah, go ahead on.
So I have played a little bit of Pathfinder before, and and I'm curious on how, or if I should wait until the level is appropriate. There's a spell that I really enjoy called Falling Stars.
Ooh.
It's a level 9 spell, but I was curious if I could adjust it to be like, because I think it's like 5 or 6 d10, if I could just cast it with like a 1d6 or something like that, as kind of like a baby version of the spell.
That's cool. That's really cool. Even if it's like accidental, that'd be cool.
Exactly, that's what I'm thinking. It's going to be accidental.
Falling Stars itself was like an item, wasn't it? Oh no! In the remaster, it was a 9th level spell. That's right. Mm-hmm. It's like a 40-foot burst.
Yes.
Okay.
It's elemental and bludgeoning damage.
Okay, hold on. Let me look this up real quick. You reach into the skies and call down an array of falling stars that explode upon collide. Oh Jesus. Okay. So what I can...
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask.
That's fucking awesome. So it has a range of 500 feet with 440-foot bursts. What I'll allow you to do at first level, if you take something like Magic Missile, or I think it's called Force Bolt now or something, if you take that, you can describe it in the same fashion and do the equivalent of first level damage.
Ooh. Love that. Okay. Thank you. Fantastic. I will do that then.
Describe it. Let's see what you got.
So what for any of the villagers or whatever is kind of like, condensing on us, they just see this look of panic on Belle's face as she reaches forth her hand, and it's as if she reaches out her hand and then pulls down, and what comes from it is just like little pockets in the sky that look like shooting stars. They are blue and black and shades of purple, but as they come down, they're not going to whatever is chasing them. It's going towards the villagers.
Two of them immediately land, and with a concussive blast, a couple of commoners go. They just you can almost see them in slow motion just falling through the air. While that is being resolved, and many of them have already begun to cry out, and their determination, for the most part, simply because of mob mentality, begins to move forward, you definitely have eased the progress some. But I also asked everyone to roll a d20. I'll go around the table. Elias, what did you get?
16.
And Mercy?
10.
Well, Vin?
20.
Bell?
Jealous.
12.
Tojado?
6.
Six. And Delia?
3.
That was so sweet.
I thought I did the worst.
Oh, no. Oh, fucking no. Okay. Elias, we're going to start off with you and your group. You're on the caravan. You've already been traveling for a little bit of time. There is a bumping of the road, a rock here and there, which the sturdy wheels don't exactly absorb in shock, shaking the entire wagon for a moment. But it honestly only takes maybe 15, 20 minutes or so before the clanking of materials up against the side of it and the constant droning of happy conversation around you. The smell of various herbs and spices, some of which are hanging, drying from various things. Delia, would you be so kind as to describe what else is inside of these wagons?
So you would definitely see kind of like extra like cloaks and blankets kind of strewn about, and we would probably be sitting on some as well. Definitely a lot of like drying herbs, some that have been like wrapped. You guys also see like boxes, and you can't see what's in them, but every time the wagon kind of does like a jump, you can hear rattling, like there's small stuff inside of them, little bowls with other small trinkets, kind of bags as well. You don't know what's in the bags or in the boxes, but you hear rattling and movement, like just a lot of things.
And the combination of that, a lot of things, ends up forming a little bit of a white noise. It's comforting. You haven't had a home in quite some time. And yet this little wagon's, mayhaps it's up to you, kind of provides a little bit of safety. The people around here, at least foreigners to you as you to them, have accepted you. But for how long will that last? Notions of that just seem to step aside, just for a quick moment. But then your eyes open before you hear it. A flash of something goes through your mind. You try to process it initially. Was this darkness? Did you just go blind? Did the lights go out? And then, no, your vision is absolutely fine. Was your hearing? It seemed to have been paused just for... No, that's just fine. You feel pins and needles at the end of your... No, that's fine. And then, everyone else in the wagon... The whole wagon itself jars just for a second. You can hear the horses up front beginning to whinny and the drivers trying to gain control again. The wagon begins to sway back and forth as another one begins to come through, shaking everything inside of the wagon, the wooden walls themselves beginning to creak, and then a little bit of a splinter. Delia, what are you doing?
Here, there's some extra cloaks. Put them on. I don't know what's happening. I don't know if it's the people that have been following you or not, but it's worth a shot. Here, fast. Take this too. And I hand them like a little satchel with trinkets.
Speaking of the people following you, Toy Jado, who is following you? Why are you being tracked? Why are you so special?
I mean, it's a long story, and
Short
I
version.
think now's not really the time for it. So
Give
maybe
me the
we'll figure out what's
highlights.
going on, and then we can tell it later.
Question for the game master. Who else is in this wagon with us?
And we're going to say right now it's just you three, with you being the host.
Okay.
However, whatever it is that is currently slamming against this wagon, it is nothing physical. You can hear the Mütvian being spoken about by the drivers. And they're like, move forward, there's some kind of energy which is here. No one else can understand it. But here you are.
I need
Really?
to see what's outside. I need to see what's going on, and I'm looking for like a window or like peek through like one of those like half door scenarios.
And as soon as you get up, this is when your 6 of a saving throw now kicks in. You get up, start peering, and then bam! You get slammed up by some external force up against the wagon itself. You are going to take 2 points of damage.
Ouch. That hurt.
That's your head smacks up against the wall. Yuri, at the same time.
Yes.
Oh. In your complacency of what Mütvia does offer, sometimes we fall into a lapse of care. And that is when you were completely shook. Whatever it is that ended up hitting the wagon hit it so hard, you were ejected from your seat, got slammed up against some of the very goods that you described up against the walls, almost as if the land is working against you. Some of the pointy bits ended up piercing your side for a total of 6 points of damage at first level.
Okay. That's ouch.
That's a big ouchie.
Yeah, we're going to assume for those of you that don't yet have character sheets. Hey, thank you for the follow. For those of you that don't yet have character sheets, we're going to assume that you have roughly 12 points or so. You can play with it, and I encourage you to gauge how fragile or not your character is during these first steps through your journey. Okay? So if you feel that 6 would take...
So
go ahead.
Yeah, I put that directly on the sheet.
Oh, cool. Okay, yeah, then you do that. In the meantime, that same kind of shake as our 3 just got disturbed, that wave of energy also hit Mercy, Vin, and Belle. Those creatures that were going through the woods. One of them, the one that like inky blackness that you can see in your mind's eye is like something coming from across the void as it cut down trees, and just as it summoned that blade, you can hear a wave of void went across. Aaron, you rolled a 10. Just as you were following Vin to lead you out of here, you find yourself buffeted and completely knocked down to the ground. Belle, you likewise. You find yourself kind of looking backwards, almost as if your 200 years in the ground would have prepared you for the knowledge of what lies above. You ended up looking over with an expectation that something bad is going to happen, but then it knocks you down to the ground. And Vin, you are a commoner, Mütvia. You're accustomed to this. Things like this happen all the time. Just as you heard something in your head, as if the elements themselves were summoned, like the power of void consolidated into a blade, you knew what that sound was. And all you did was... It hit you, and you stood there like a mountain. Can you, Vin, describe what you're doing to help Mercy and Belle, if at all?
Yeah, as soon as that happens, I start grabbing them both to pull them up. Well, we have to keep running. This is no time to lay down. Let's go.
Oh dear
It
God,
wasn't
you're
by
strong.
choice.
What?
We just kind of look at each other. Keep running.
Going around, Belle, what was your interpretation? What can we see outwardly? What can the external world see of your character right now?
Other than the panic that ensued, I think part of what's going through Belle's mind is a lot of unfamiliarity, which causes the panic of letting loose this spell that shouldn't have been. So not only is there panic, but there's fear and regret as she watches what she's done. How much damage did she take?
Oh, she took. No, you guys just got knocked down to the ground. You weren't inside of a.
down.
Yeah, you weren't inside of a wagon with a whole bunch of pointy shit all over the place.
You never know. She struggles to get up, but at the same time, she's also being pulled up, which helps her find her feet quicker. But obviously, she hasn't walked very much in however many years, or at the very least running. So it almost looks like this deer learning how to walk for the first time as she struggles to get up and move out of the way.
So, with that, you end up trying to get up off the ground. Vin reaches down, pulls you back up. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say I do feel that Vin would recognize the atrophy, and I would try to help her run as we went.
And she's very, very light and still kind of skeletal, so it's not easy to force her to glide.
Right.
I do want to point out, Amp LSI, 9 minutes ago. I don't know if it's an L or an I. If it's Ampasy or Amplesy, or if it's not meant to be pronounced, I apologize. 9 minutes ago followed on Yuri's turn. Yuri, any time that anyone follows during a player's turn, you have an advantage coming to you. We are playing Pathfinder 2nd Ed, which is known as a fortune. You, Yuri, as our attention now falls back into the wagon, can take that into consideration.
Yeah, I'm going to need it.
You understand the energies that are around you. Do you have any skills that might be able to identify what that energy is outside that is pummeling the wagon?
I do have detect magic that I can, as part of liminal cat, because I took the liminal cat heritage, I can sense magic. So, and then I can recall knowledge of creatures outside of the material plane as well. So,
can you give me a little bit more detail on that and tell us what that might look like?
So she, we all just got shaken up really bad. She was telling you guys to put on the cloaks and was kind of worried about you guys' well-being, and then got rattled and stabbed a little. So she would kind of hold her hands out to you guys to like stay still, and then you would see her eyes are kind of like this amber color. You know how cats' eyes, when they reflect light and they look like these eerie like mirrors, something like that, right? So the amber colored eyes kind of turn glassy. And she would kind of, like you see under the hood, you just see like it like point up as her ears perk up and her eyes turn glassy. And she holds a hand out for you guys to be real still as she kind of takes in and surveys. Because she can detect the magic and see things outside of the material plane, it doesn't matter that you guys are in a wagon, because she can kind of feel and see like shapes and auras through the wood.
Do you have
what are you sensing? What are you sensing?
What am I sensing?
Do you have a lore on your sheet that you want to use? Or a particular skill, like game mechanic wise? I want to take advantage of the things that you established first.
Okay, so I can detect magic and all of that because of liminal cat folk. I have low light vision, but that doesn't matter right now. I have scent as my sense as well. I can detect anything by scent for about 30 feet.
Okay.
And I have like knowledge of otherworldly creatures and phenomena because of my thaumaturge background.
Is that a skill, like a lore that you have? Is it something you can roll
dubious
against?
Knowledge. It's a special ability, so I would roll recall knowledge against whatever is happening.
In this case, occult. Do you have occultism?
Occultism. I do. I am trained in occultism.
Oh, give me a roll.
All right, that is going to be a +3, just a d20.
Yeah. Curly Insane Guy, what's
That's
up?
16 plus 3. It's 19 to occultism.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, hold on.
Fair. And then if I failed, I still learn.
You didn't fail.
A little bit.
You didn't fail. The air around you starts getting a little bit still, and then you can sense a pulse of electricity beginning to touch against your skin. You reach your senses out. You tap into the elements which the Mütvia know are the real energies of this world, the very building blocks of reality. And then, void. It slams up against the wagon. It gets slammed up against the side. You end up taking some physical damage, but your mind remains clear. I'm going to use the follow that you gained during your turn as not just a chance for you to reroll, but also a bonus to your current action to give you even more information, turning it into a critical success. Void. You can feel the oblivion hitting this. There is a creature out there. There are several that it could be that is causing this kind of damage. The Vrojiti, that wise, sage woman who has been teaching you all this time. Lessons learned. Told you about these mystical beings that sometimes every now and then begin to appear. But they never appear without reason. Nordaga summons them into being to serve a purpose. So while your wagon is shook and your physical body has been shaken because of it, and even suffered some, it is temporary. Void is the cause of the damage against the wagon, and you know it comes from a being which is unusual, but not entirely impossible.
What are you sensing?
Darkness. Void. Here. We must run. Run to the next wagon. The one with the rest of my clan.
Elias is
We
looking
can't face this by ourselves. We can't
intrigued at Dahlia. Well, you're just full of surprises, aren't you?
Delia, I must find the source of this.
But first we must get to safety. We can't get caught out. We cannot take this on its own. We need to find
I do
the
not wish to
Vrojiti.
confront it. I wish to see its origins. I have a theory. I'm looking for something.
The
Would you
Vrojiti can give
accompany
you
me?
the information that you need, but we need to get to the other wagon. Now, I will give you guys some time to run, okay? I open the doors, and when I say go, you go to the wagon in front of us, okay? You will find the Vrojiti there. I will run right after you. And
Wait, why are you not
she
coming
can
with
get us
us?
the answers.
Just
I am.
listen to her.
Just trust me, okay? And you see as she, from under her cloak, pulls out a small hand mirror, holds it in one hand, and the door of the wagon with the other. Be ready, go. Okay? I open the door. And I just yell, go! And you guys see as the surface of the mirror, right, kind of gets that sheen like something shining against it, and you see me, but not really me, another me, about 5 feet away, standing on the side of the wagon. So you see two of me now, as I say, go! So I'm using the mirror to cast Mirror's Reflection. So there is basically an exact copy of me, but it is out on the side of the wagon to attract the attention of whatever's there as we're running to the next wagon, to where the Vrojiti and the rest of the Barji was, so that we can be together. I know she has more information and would be able to tell us what to do. Do you guys run?
Yeah, so you, like, these bright yellow serpentine eyes just kind of look at yours, like, knowingly, and Tojado will, like, grab Elias by, like, just grab him by, like, the scruff of whatever's available and just start dragging him.
Elias, are you cool
There's,
with
like,
that?
this, like, knowing shared between Delia and Tojado of, like, all right, yeah, this is the time not to fuck around.
Elias is kind of like looking back between the two of these. One of these people was his quandary. And now he's looking very specifically at Dahlia and is all of a sudden he's turned to you in a way when he's speaking that he wasn't before. And you can see that he is you have his full attention. He's very much like fascinated by much of what he's seeing. And he is going to adjust the cloak that was given, and then when he is pulled by Tojado, he's gonna like
Quick and
tap her
aggressive. It's
hand.
like,
He's gonna be like, no, like you do to a child, and then run there after.
I mean, it's like as fast as possible. Like it is, we are
And
dashing. Like, if you want, I'll roll like an athletics against it. I'm like, let's get this kid out of here.
You would see that I make a move, like I'm clearly gonna run after you guys, right? But I want you guys to get there first, right? Because I'm holding the mirror reflection. So I definitely look like I am gonna go right after you guys. I'm not gonna stay here. Yeah.
That's an excellent
I would definitely be just like pulling you over.
Elias is basically gonna just like allow his shirt to be ripped so he can get free.
Right? Are all three of you, going
what?
in?
I won't say no, but like that's what's happening.
Yes.
Are all three of you going in?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes?
As
All
quick
right.
as possible.
You see a rushing by of wood and canvas, and then you find yourself somewhere else. But then even before your minds can adjust to your new surroundings, oh! You can hear almost the leather reins themselves on the horses drawing the caravan now being pulled taut as the horses begin to whinny against the strain of the turn. The wagon itself even leans over, keels over onto two wheels.
I like lean to the opposite side to try and bring it back down.
Vin, Mercy, and Belle. A train, a caravan coming your way. The head wagon now immediately pulls the reins and steers all the horses off to the left and away from you to prevent from running over you. You three, because Rah-Rah story time just followed, all of you now have an advantage on the next roll that I call for.
Yay!
This thing is you can see the horses and those proud hooves trying to dig into the ground. Each of them, the horse's head being turned aside, and then the body beginning to follow, and then the wagon beginning to follow. Your brain, as your nostrils begin to flare and your eyes open wide, and you intake that air in order for your brain to process all of this information really quick. Or you can see it all in slow motion. I'm going to go around. Use no more than 5 words. What are you doing on Belle? Excuse me. You're muted.
You muted, Bev.
Muted.
Look, I keep sneezing.
It's okay.
Falling over again.
Chris. Ben.
Trying to catch Belle.
Mercy.
Stand in front of wagon.
Oh my God. And you are the reason why those horses were then veered off to the side. After a moment, with this distant thunder still roiling, as if it itself was a harbinger of things to come, the wagons come to a halt after almost running over you three. Delia, you know under no circumstances do these wagons ever come to an end, or ever come to a stop, unless you've either arrived or there's an emergency. We have a held hydrate, by the way, by Matthew.
Matthew, I'll be hydrating with wine. Thank you very much.
I'll be hydrating with water.
Agua.
Do I have sight of like what the others are doing? Not them, but like the people I came with.
Yeah, there seems to be a little bit of not so much panic, but okay, we don't know what just happened, but like those inside the wagons just kind of gripped onto it, and you kind of get like a like a little pulse of emotion from everyone in the wagon. You get the sense everyone's okay. Everyone is also very accustomed to weird things happening on the road. You are Drosti. All you do is travel. This is normal for shit to go down. So everyone brace themselves and then waits. You understand the tradition and the routine. The Bargis or the Arbargis, the second in command, is going to come over and explain something. Most of the time it's just a shout. Everything's fine. We almost run over people. And then that's it.
I
Do you
just
think
I
they
want
might be void people?
What gave you that idea?
I'm asking like Delia, like as we're kind of like waiting for like the all clear. Do you think they might be void people?
I mean, it could be anything, but considering what just happened, maybe.
Are there any like? Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, so a little bit of a home rule. I know that we're all remote. We are in different parts of the world, and that's a beautiful thing that tech allows us to come together. We are now telling a story. Characters don't say story. Allow your conversation to impart the importance of what it is that you're saying. Active listening is also going to come into play. Don't worry about it. You got this. Go ahead and charge in.
Sorry, did you say my name?
I was saying, Chris, go ahead, man.
Are there any identifiers on you, Mercy, that like would show that you're not from this world right now?
I look kind of like the person that I was occupying, but definitely that like it's not a glow, it's a tint. So that like purplish tint in my very deathly pale skin is what's probably giving me away as to something of definitely not alive.
I'm gonna pull like a blanket out of my bag,
Sure.
And as she's just standing there in front of this whole fucking entourage, I'm gonna like throw it over her, not like covering her. But
Yeah,
like,
no, I got
just
you.
kind of fucking
Okay.
yeah.
Nothing to see here.
Disappearing act.
Just trying to like cover her face a little better.
The cow comes over. The drivers immediately take a look at who it is that they may have run over, and kind of stop for a second and assess the situation. Elias, what are you doing during this time? You've just arrived at a new location, which is to say another wagon.
Fucking Mütvia.
Delia, what are you doing while these two are resolving that?
I feel like she would have like made to like say something, then decided against it. And you just like see like under the hood like the ear twitch as she's like listening. And so she, Delia will remember that. Just pops up on top. That's what Elias said.
So you
Makes a mental note.
Yeah, 100%. So you store that shit, but then you, Delia.
I store that shit.
Fuck yeah. When you manage to get everyone into a different place, that's when you see somebody who had a pestle in hand along with a mortar have been disturbed by the force of the shaking of the wagons, but nonplussed otherwise. Looks up at you who just appeared in along with your two friends. It's the Vrojiti. She's looking at you and kind of nods and then looks over at the two. and then goes back.
My sincerest apologies. I kind of like come to and like notice the surrounding. My sincerest apologies, Brojite. For my outburst.
We're going to assume that Tojado has Drusty lore. If you know what a Brojiti is, that is perfect.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. So she looks up at you and then looks at the dress of the stranger. Those clothings are different, but then her face seems to be drained of blood as that another pulse hits the wagons. Delia, you know what she's picking up on. It's the same thing as you. And it's the same thing that the drivers, who, through the Rojiti's scenic eye we now pass, the drivers themselves have now calmed the horses. We see a human who has just cast a cloak over an undetermined figure from the driver's perspective, and another one stands there with an inky blackness emanating from the center of the forehead. Down on the ground, Vin is picking everyone up. What else do the drivers see before we continue the scene with you three?
Are you asking us?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's your turn, yeah.
Yeah.
Bill. Or sorry, no, go ahead.
I think that Vin is just trying to get like everyone situated and like stood up right and make sure everyone's okay. And also, is Elias and are they in like eyesight? Can we see them?
They're in the back of a wagon somewhere in the train, so you can't yet see them.
Okay. All right.
Except for Belle, who has suddenly disappeared with the blanket or whatever you've used to stand her up as she's like made her way over to the back of the cart, just like staring at these two, just like staring each other down. And if I may RP, I didn't know if you had something else in mind.
No, go. This is your game. You go. I'm putting the mic over there now.
Okay. She looks at these two. She has no idea who they are or anything at all, and just, why are you arguing?
I kind of like turn to the Vrojiti and just kind of like make eye contact with everybody before like looking at Belle. If no one else interjects, like I was gonna let my senior have the first word.
Like, I feel like Dahlia would have kind of walked out and like went to stand next to the Vrojiti, because usually like when things happen or that she hasn't seen before or things like that, she'll like lean over and whisper to her, right? And she learns by seeing and by doing more so than, reading tones and stuff. And so she would have walked over next to her to wait to see if there was anything that the Vrojiti wanted to tell her, while she's looking over at Belle and sees kind of the black inkiness coming down from her forehead. And I have a thing can I see Mercy? Would I be able to see her from here?
Mercy is in the front.
Because I know I can feel her.
Yeah, she's in the very front. She is currently trying to like soothe the. You said cows and horses, so I don't know what's driving the caravan. Horses. Okay.
Did I say cows? I'm sorry.
You did at one point.
I only meant horses.
Listen. If they want to be cows, they can be cows. But yeah, she's probably trying to like. I think Mercy is very in tune with things that don't feel like they belong. So if the horses are afraid, then she's going to kind of like hush them.
So if you peer around, then Delia, kind of get out like your bearings. So to address what you said, The Vroshiti looks up at you and is just mixing herbs, completely disturbed. Otherwise, her hair's all over the place and just continues to, do the whole thing. Looks over at you. You've seen that kind of a shrug before. It means Nordaga's will. And at this point, I, as the game master, hold myself back. The world has now introduced itself enough. You understand what the flavor is. I turn the world over to you 6.
I feel like I'm scrambling back. Oh, sorry. I feel like I'm scrambling back and forth, like kind of in a panic, because these two supernatural entities have introduced themselves to Mütvia, and I'm like, they're gonna kill them. so I'm like, where did the other one go?
I kind of, as these like new people are like coming up, and I can tell that like Delia's kind of like interested in like interacting with them. I think I notice some of the other kerfuffle and kind of decide to like step out and see what's going on with like Vin and everybody else to try and get like an understanding of this, but from a more like person level. So I like walk up to Vin. Hello, your friends, your travelers.
Yes, we're just passing by. She likes horses.
Okay.
Elias is gonna like perk up at that. He like hears a voice that he hasn't heard in a super long time, and so he leans because before he moves, he wants to make certain. So he's listening to this conversation.
Oh no, wait, no, because Bill would have heard. She's continuing to stare at Elias, who's still there, and as you're like very obviously trying to listen, she continues to stare at you, kind of like with a cocked head. Your voice, it is different. Why?
Do you mean like culturally?
You say words different than people I have heard today.
I am a special person from a special place from far, far away.
She's like immediately like starry-eyed, fascinated. Bishop,
I see from your facial expression that you are impressed, and I want you to know that that's the appropriate reaction.
well, I have done. I have done the person thing well. Then.
Elias is trying to do two things at once. Is trying to talk to Belle. I think, hold on, above table, Belle has been in the ground for 200 years.
Yeah.
And so they might have a different vibe than a modern Mutvian, because that is like where I feel like his frustration has come from recently.
Well, let's see the actions. Yeah.
Exactly.
You know what? I will tell you more about the special place that I am from after this, but right now I'm trying. And at this point, he's gonna hop down off of the wagon.
Is Elias tall?
Yeah. Let's make Elias is 6'1".
Okay, cool. Belle's gonna be like 5'5", and she just like looks up. Oh, you are all so tall. That is impressive. Yes.
Yes. Agreed. It is very impressive, he says. Now that he has heard this conversation happen enough, he is going to like turn the corner with a little bit more oomph or like movement than he has had up until this point. And he is looking, and from where I am at on the cart, am I able to see Vin and the rest of the party?
You can.
I think you'd have to get off.
So typically, what's that?
I
he
think
hopped
the way
off.
everybody's spread out,
Yeah,
he would have to get off to see the rest of them.
Oh, no, I
Exactly.
hopped off already. I'm on the
Yeah.
ground.
That's why Belle's impressed by his height.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Oh, she saw you stand up.
Yeah, then,
Yeah,
then you
yeah,
would
that's-
probably see this
that's-
conversation.
Yeah, he said he was 6'1".
Toijado, who is of an average height, not very impressive, is over with Vin. And so, where did you say you were traveling?
We're just passing through right now. We saw the Veiled Gates a little bit. Did you see my friend?
You have no. How are you? Did you just come from the anomaly over there?
Let me set the scene for
void?
you. Several people have now disembarked from the wagons. This includes Dojado, Elias. Elias. Did Delia also hop down out? Yes. Okay. Perfect.
Yes.
Okay.
I walked down to stand next to the wise woman.
Perfect. Thank you. After a moment or two, you're very accustomed to observing the Vrojiti, I would imagine. Like if she's around, you're kind of like out of the side eye, kind of always going, what is this one up to? So in the last of your lessons, as you kind of wean yourself off of that, you kind of like look over and you can see the Vrojiti has stopped pounding those herbs. It's now turned the mortis upside down and poured it into a cup of hot water. And she looks at it, makes a gesture as if she's communicating with something or someone, pours it outside, and then steps down out. Ignoring whoever else is out there, she then heads up to the front of the wagon. Now, all of this is now transpiring as the six of you are beginning to interact. For those of you that are paying attention, this is what the Vrojiti does. Goes up to the front of the wagon, makes a cut across the neck, and holds her hand up, and she starts walking back. She's doing this in a very deterministic way. And that's when you three who were on the road, Mercy, Vin, Belle, realize who it is who is exactly in charge. The drivers, two up front in each of the wagons, one of them responding to the Vrojiti more than the other. A bald man steps down. Mercy, Elias, Tojado, and Delia. The three of you know this as Bolivar. He steps down, pats each of the wagons, and each of you in turn can hear a response from within. For those of you that speak Mütvi, or Mütvian, which is the majority of you now, if not everyone, you hear, I'm all right, no, everything's fine, nothing's broken, yes, we can still sell it. It goes down the line. And so it is with the caravan. All of you then learn over the next maybe 30 seconds or so, the caravan stays exactly where it is. They have reached a crossroads. This is the land of Kirisil, a deity who oversees that, a deity of fate, and the deity of the Drosti, and that is what this caravan is. Delia, you understand what the Vrojiti is. You may not have gathered that you were at the crossroads until the Vrojiti said that, but when she did, you understood. You, Delia, have a lore. I would like you to roll that lore. Elias, you have something else going on for you. Would you be able to describe in broadest of terms what kind of innate knowledge that Elias has?
I think Elias possesses an empathy. He was well liked, right? Like, may not have been, maybe by modern standards, the most efficient prince, but was one who was very beloved by the people, and much of that came from his capacity to read people. So in particular, I think he would pick up on the nonverbals that are happening. Like if there is somebody, and above table, Aetherius and Elias know very little about this, so it's perfect. He would pick up on some reverence happening, and having lived in Mütvia for long enough to know that like most of the superstitions that he initially thought were bullshit carry some weight, he like knows that he should be respectful, but not to whom or to what. Here, like, is one of these people a leader? Deity is not on his mind. He's not thinking is one of these people or is the cart or any of this. He's very, very kind of like now wanting, having been bitten, right? Like he knows very well what happens when you don't heed the superstitions, when you don't listen to the land, and he may be annoyed about it, but he's learned that it is like a grim necessity of living in this country. And so he is right now calculating in his brain, who am I like supposed to be reverent to in this
Elias,
moment?
roll society for me. Now, you don't yet have a character sheet, so roll a d20. All of those things, the nuances of hierarchy, etc., is all society.
Can I do an occultism check?
Oh, you were muted.
100%. Of course you can. But before I allow you to roll, why are you rolling? And let me get Aetherius' roll first.
That was a nat 20.
Okay?
Nice.
Okay, hold on to that 20. Vin?
I just want to gauge if I would know what was going on through my experience.
Occult is going to be those spaces that exist between the dimensions, the odd and the weird, the energies between and for the elements. So what is it that you're attempting to perceive? Interactions between people?
I'm trying to perceive like what exactly is going on with the caravan. Like, why are they stopping?
Perception. Just a straight up perception in this case.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is my perception?
You had me roll lore.
Yeah, what do you
I
get?
rolled a 15, have a +6 to lore, so 21.
What do I add to perception?
Perception is a calculated roll. Which are you looking at Foundry? In Foundry?
I have my Hero Lab sheet up.
Oh, Hero Lab I suck at. I'll be honest with you. Hold on. Vin, your perception is a +5.
Oh, okay, cool. Then 21.
Delia.
Twinsies, oh my god.
Delia, which lore was that?
You're muted.
Who were you
Oh,
talking?
I just rolled on esoteric. I don't know if you wanted me to roll.
Wait, you got
I'm actually not sure.
You got
how
a
to
21 on
find-
something. Do you know what you rolled?
Yes, I rolled a esoteric lore.
Oh,
I have a +6 to esoteric lore,
perfect.
so I rolled that.
Perfect.
You didn't specify.
I apologize. No, that's fine. That's perfect. You reached out. You wanted to find out what was going on. You understood what the signals of the Rojiti, which was something along the lines of, this was meant to be. The Drossi say that often. Nordaga's will is often imposed upon the land, so this is nothing unusual. However, there was a tinge of yes to this. So, the Rojiti, upon returning to the caravan, after having delivered the messages to the various drivers, then gets back in and tries to reassemble stuff, and effectively removing herself from the scene. Having said that, you now take over. The thunder above. A signal that things are coming. Change is coming. The dead land is often awoken by rain, signaling change. It is a harbinger of that. You know that. Kirasil. Kirasil is a deity of the crossroads, the traveler between the worlds. You stopped at a crossroads. Superstition says that Kirasil then must be involved. Elias, casting a gaze down upon Tojado. This is a prince. You understand that. All of these connections of the land are ringing true. But you're not the only one to pick this up. Delia, you did so well in that. That Bell, who spent the past 200 or so years in the ground, begins to receive that. As time goes on, of course, this connection will fade, but for the moment, Bell also understands that through Delia, establishing a connection. Vin, you rolled a 21 on what?
You told me to just do perception. So
You wanted to know about the caravan.
yeah, I wanted to know if I could feel out what was going on.
So, you're kind of being perceptive of the emotions of the caravan. You can see that the drivers themselves have halted the caravan out of need of you, not one to run you over. The Vrojiti delivered the message. You then picked up on who it is that is actually in charge of this. You then notice that people are kind of coming off the caravan. That's not part of your perception. But what is part of it, they're going to set up camp and they're going to leave this shit in the middle of the road and anybody else can get fucked.
Delia's gonna go ahead and walk over to Vin and look at him. Since I can passively detect magic, I can feel there's something about you, right? I can't see your runes, but I can feel. And
So we both passively detect magic.
yeah, we both took that. That's funny. You're friends. You were meant to be here. We will set up camp.
Oh,
Get
good.
them and come to the fire. We must find out why.
On the side of the caravan where Elias has been talking to Belle, at the realization that the voice that he has been hearing does in fact belong to Vin, he is going to look at Belle. That's Vinny. That's Vin.
Are you talking about the brute?
Yes, and he's gonna pick Belle up and spin her. He's like
Oh,
the joy of a child. Vin!
Oh, Elias!
Runs up, and there's this like just a slow motion, just big bear hug. Elias clearly cannot lift up Vin. Vin is like they're much stronger than he is.
Oh no! Vin
really?
is actually a pretty small guy.
Oh, you're getting spun then. You're getting picked up and you're getting spun around. He is like, I thought you were fucking dead. Oh my.
I have been to come and visit you. How is
dead?
the princedom? How are your siblings? How is everything?
I'm so glad to see you. Oh my god. Okay. What happened? We got separated. I thought I'd never see you again.
I just after I couldn't find you, I assumed the worst, as you do in Mütvia, and I just continued my travels.
I have to say, mate, Mütvia, a lot shittier without you in it. It is so good to see you. I'm so glad to know somebody in this. And Elias catches himself about to say shithole and then realizes that he, again, as the cultural kind of like empathy to pick up, that like, it's probably not a good thing.
And
it's
then
just
Vin
good to
says,
see you.
shithole.
Oh, you said it. I didn't, mate. So you know this lot, and he's going to gesture to Belle.
Yeah, just barely. I met them like 5 minutes ago.
Oh, okay. This one, he's looking down at Belle. This one seems all right. She doesn't have that Mutvian, I'm going to say je ne sais quoi that so many of you natives have.
The
Yeah,
brute also does not fuck the dead.
That is true. That's
I've always liked that about him. I've always said that is one of his better traits.
And that comes from her being confused when you were like, I thought you were fucking dead.
So cute.
She's almost like a child relearning things suddenly.
So wait, hold on. You pulled this one out of the ground?
Yeah, I think that she has been asleep for several hundred years. I don't know. I'm just putting it together kind of with the atrophy and the grave.
Rawr.
Elias turns to Belle, and now with this new information, you were in the ground for 200 years? You were in the Mütvian ground for 200 years?
Apparently, that is what they think happened. I just remember suddenly coming out of ground, nightmares, and then I had this one, and as she gestures to Mercy, this one was helping me.
Mercy is going to point and be like, "This horse is named Marmalade."
By this point, Dahlia has seen, Vin's a little preoccupied and Belle is with them. So she has walked up to Mercy. And Mercy, you don't hear her. You kind of, she's behind you and she goes, I haven't seen one of your kind in a while. What's your name?
Mercy, what is my kind to you?
A lot of things. Nothing at all. Mercy, my name is Dahlia. Nice to meet you. Here,
Dahlia.
we can play with the horses later. Let's get you warmed up. You look like you need some food.
Elias from across the way is watching this, and you hear almost a stage whisper, and he's going to lean over to Vin, who has essentially been his cultural ambassador the entire time that he's been here, and he's going to go, what is she?
She is Thadiel.
She's Stadial?
Thadiel. You've heard Thadiel.
Remind me. Catch me up.
Like a void elf. Like they,
got it.
they spawn from dead bodies. Things.
Yes. Got it.
Perfectly normal.
Mercy spawned from close to my body.
So
A dead woman.
It is true. Let us not yell details out amongst everybody, because that is personal matters for us, right? They don't know what they're talking about. Just yelling this generally.
stupid foreigner saying stupid foreigner shit.
I don't know what I am talking about.
Yes.
The six of you begin to notice that everyone else, while they are doing other things, some of them are deconstructing some of the wagons as if to set up like a camp of some kind. The wagons also have moved around you. They ended up moving off to the side of the road, fully understanding that this is whatever. But there is a vibe in the air that this is an auspicious occasion, one that is led by that elder Virojiti. For the majority of the time, they stay out of your way, almost painfully so. Belle, they skirt around you, occasionally placing a small hand on your shoulder just to alert you that they exist, and they move around you. Elias, some of them look at you with a little bit of suspicion. Delia, you understand why. He's giving off a noble presence. The Drusty don't like nobles. This is normal. Vin, all throughout you have been very perceptive. They are indeed setting up camp, but the Vrojiti has also been speaking to 3 individuals whom you know through lore, just simple knowledge. Probably the leader, the second in command, and whoever it is that is going to handle things in the future. The two leaders will handle the overview. The one will make sure it all happens. That one is the bald man. Big, larger than most. Easily 6'3" or so. Not so much tall and physically menacing as he is in presence. When he walks through, it is one of warmth. He carries a campfire in his heart, as in saying amongst the Mütvia. You understand that, and Bolivar is one such. Mercy, you're looking around, and you understand almost instinctively who it is that carries the void within them. Everyone here of the wagon acknowledges it and your presence. Occasionally some will look at you as they go about their deeds, and they simply nod in acknowledgement of your existence, but steer away. Somehow, some way, you know they don't trust you because of what you are. This is the prejudice of the xenophobic Mütvia people. But they also understand you literally come from the land, and so they defer to their suspicions at first, but then as they hear you talk, you see them begin to smile, and their suspicion begins to fade away as tradition gives way to experience. And if Tojado was here, we would find out a little bit more. Hold on for a second, Stacy, just from listening. Tojado goes into the caravan, and Delia, you can see that Tojado has become, shall we say, bounced around a little bit too much in the senses of everything that is happening. Tojado seems to be incredibly sensitive to the energies that are all around, and therefore goes back into the wagon and closes her eyes. Each of you, the five that remain, the six is now like resting and taking care of the self. You see that for the most part, everyone else has left you alone. The Vrojiti, Delia, has given them the command to do so. A fire or two has been set up. One over there in the woods to the north. Another here where you are, in the woods just across the road, a mere 30 or 40 feet from the other fire, down to the southeast. People start cooking food. The horses casually graze, unreined from their bit and tackle. The land itself accepts what it is that has been poured into the ground over the fire and caused some of it to light up as the alcohol goes in, as is the Drusty tradition. Nordaga must also be the one to celebrate, is a phrase that is heard often around the fires. Elias, there is still an acknowledgement that you are not one of them. They know that you don't come from here, and yet they also acknowledge that you understand a little bit more than what most strangers do. And because of that, Bolivar, a large bald one who guarded the door and took some of the crossbow bolts, and you could see small little red dots of where they were on his otherwise muslin shirt, come over to you. Hey, stranger, you have need for food. Here is food. And he just shoves a plate into your face as if he's going to let go of it at any moment, and if he does, it's going to spill into your lap otherwise. What do you do?
Oh, thank you.
He lets go and starts walking away and goes back to the other fire. Other people come around. The Vrojiti sits down for a mere second upon a rock in order to tie a lace around a boot. Eyes gazing upon the 5 that are present. And then Delia, you can see. She nods with approval and smiles. Not so that anyone would notice, but more because you noticed. And then she disappears for the rest of the night. The overall picture is everyone has gathered around the northern fire, except for you 5, which have been gathered around the southeastern fire. You are at a crossroads. Now is the time for you to make a decision of what you do.
So, this fire, and as Belle reaches forward and kind of like touches the flames, this hurt. Why?
That is interesting memory loss that you have there.
I don't remember much.
You remember language, but you do not remember fire. That is interesting.
Boy, she's been in the ground for 200 years. Give her a little bit of a break.
No, I'm not trying. I'm curious.
Oh, I don't need anything broken. I'm healing pretty fine.
Elias, he's going to smell the food he was given. And he's going to just set it down.
As you smell the food, all of you are feeling a little bit thirsty because we have a hail hydrate in the chat.
All right.
Don't tell us what to do.
Not my real dad.
This is like half a bottle of wine that I've been consuming.
I got one drop.
I know. I'm like empty now.
Daddy would like to tell you to drink water.
Oh, stop it. No.
No.
Come on, my thirsty little bitches.
I am a thirsty little bitch.
You were bored today, weren't you?
What?
She's looking at the void elf.
Oh,
Yeah. I was gonna say I'm probably like kind of curious by Dahlia. I think she's going to kind of sit beside her and watch as Belle is fucking around with fire, but like listen to the Thiraf and say, "Oh, what gave that away?" As I like wipe away some last like slime.
I've seen your kind before. I've gotten pretty good at telling.
Where?
Was she?
Where?
Everywhere. We travel a lot. Was she? I'm assuming she was born today too, right?
That one? She's been sleeping.
Reborn, I meant to say.
Yes. From the ground. In a way. She kind of looks over and is like, as I imagine, probably Belle is like, Vin is like helping Belle with like her first degree burns. Like,
as Elias is over there almost like choking on whatever food this is.
He's so hungry that he's like reached the point of desperation. He's like,
I'm actually curious. What kind of food is it?
yeah, what kind of food? What is the Mütvian cuisine?
Yeah.
So,
Oh boy.
oh, speaking of
no,
Mütvian cuisine.
no. It's good. You're going to encounter a lot of vegetables as well as some lean animal
Vegetables. Disgusting.
That's like, some lean animal protein. You're probably going to come across some chicken. They don't have any cattle with them, otherwise you would probably pick up on beef. But within the wagon, you can hear that there is one wagon from which a smell is emanating, where there are chicken cages, and Delia can absolutely confirm that. They will hold on to certain dried meats, which are not really used in cooking, but more in the, just I need something immediately. And you could see some people snacking on that. What you're eating, we're going to say it is a chicken in some kind of a stew which is red in color. You pick up on some tomatoes along with some paprika. You'll also pick up on like a little bit of sausage, which has been mixed in. And you can see floating around some green herbs as well, which give it an overall roundness and earthy flavor.
Elias,
Steve,
you
can I
cannot
ask
like. Sorry, go
I
ahead.
have something else I want to say too.
No, I was just gonna say, like, Steve, what am I used to? What's the like cuisine of my homeland or whatever country I originate from?
Kultrek is the city that you come from, a massive city of about 1.75 million people. You can eat whatever the fuck you want.
I'm spoiled. Oh, God damn it.
This is why I'm imagining. Sorry, real quick. Almost the way that you're eating, it's like it looks fine, but then when you go to eat it, it's almost like in Lord of the Rings. You know, when Aragorn gets the stew and it turns out to be just absolutely vile. That's the kind of reaction I'm imagining, where it's like.
What is wrong, Elias? You do not like Mütvia and paprikash?
No.
I like
Honestly, no. I love it. It's okay. Mm-hmm. And he is gonna take a hearty bite of it. You know what? It's actually. I thought this was going to take like horse shit. This is actually pretty decent.
So you look at the food from the campfire because the chat just went and they started talking about food. You're looking at it.
Must be here.
No, Raffle is here. Absolutely. Raffle is currently stimming over the food. So first off, it is a little bit of the light orange, creamy beige color. You can see bits of chicken that is incredibly tender and melts in your mouth. There is a flavor that is you're picking up on a little bit of spice, but you're also picking up on a heaviness of the earth itself, indicating the presence of like a fat or a lard. You get a little bit of the sweetness, and you can see some little green bits which are floating, probably from a green pepper or so. You're definitely picking up on onions, but then there is a tang of something that might be akin to sour cream that has been just kind of folded into it just a little.
No.
I literally made Hungarian paprikash 3 days ago with dumplings.
Oh my gosh.
So
I have a question. I'm not sure if I'm going to regret asking or not. But you know, the earth, the ground has been described as having a fatty texture.
Yes.
Are they harvesting fat from the ground?
No, absolutely. No, absolutely. No one does that. No one does that.
Like, that's
is this dirt fat?
No. So, in case you in chat don't know what the hell that Belle is talking about, there are certain pockets of the land due to lore, which we can find out about at another time, and certainly in this campaign, that the ground itself is not only dirt, but it seems to be a little bit on the greasy and rusty brown side. Like when you pick it up, you kind of have like a oily substance, minor, but it is there, substance. And when your foot steps into it, it's almost like a...
No, it's not.
Can I ask, that's specific to Mütvia? So like this is not something that we okay.
No.
Yeah.
No.
That's not not a selling point. I wouldn't put that on the like travel brochure. No. It is unique to this country in this continent of 42 or whatever it is countries. Yeah.
So as Elias is struggling with the food,
oh, he's into it now.
Delia, and Delia stood up and walked over to where they have like the little barrels with the drink, because it is a celebration, right?
Yes,
it's always a celebration whenever choices need to be made, and she would have grabbed it and they're not cups. They're more like little bowls. Have you seen like the little sake bowls? Like that. A little stack of those. And she brings it over as you guys were having this conversation about the food. And she puts it in front of everyone and starts serving. And kind of just looks over at the other campfire where everybody else is at and looks back at you guys. Kind of taking the time to look at each of you. She goes, "You rescued someone today. Friends were reunited. There was birth and rebirth. Definitely a joyous occasion. Drink, my friends." And she hands each of you it looks like wine. It doesn't smell like wine, though. And just kind of raises it up and kind of looks at you guys to, like, waiting for you to join your hands in as well. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then when everybody's kind of holding their little cup bowl up, she goes, 2 choices and new beginnings. And just downs it in one. Just holds the thing.
Mütvia register.
So it's a party, I see. Gonna follow suit.
There is a
Really gross.
There is a slight tinge of plums in the spirits held in the cup.
Ooh, what a nice Easter egg.
What is this? Is it red?
Honestly, should she drink? Have you eaten in 200 years? Are you sure? Like,
I mean, we gave her food first, so...
okay, never mind.
You guys
So
have
she
all
hasn't even
eaten.
bothered to eat it. It's kind of just sitting in her lap as she's had been playing with the fire. Hasn't actually eaten anything yet.
Around
I'm
the
gonna
fire,
feed it
it
to you.
appears to be mostly a clear liquid. For those of you that are especially perceptive, you would see it as a light yellow.
After Delia shares, Elias is gonna go, "You know what, mate? This is one of my top 10 days in Mütvia since I came to this place. I gotta say, meeting you, Eli, is one of the best luck, or some of the best luck that I've had. Cheers to friends." And he's gonna give Vinny like a good ribbing, like he's gonna like elbow him and his his ribs, and then
Wait.
he's like bottoms up.
You two know each other?
Yes.
Yeah.
How do you know each other?
You know, that is a story that I think may be better suited for when you've been alive for me. It's complex, and I don't want to like overload you at the moment. But
It is tangled story that needs to be unwound?
precisely, this one's intuitive. He's going to say to Vinny. Let's just say.
Thank you.
It's a compliment, love. I promise. I don't know that I'd be sitting here without this bloke. This right here. We've saved each other's lives a few times over. I thought this motherfucker was dead, to be honest with you. That's why I was so excited to see him earlier.
And I thought the same.
Brute
so
is safe.
What?
Brute is safe.
That's what I've been trying to tell you. I'm not brute. I'm friend.
Ah,
Friend, and I'm going to say the word friend in every language that I know how to say it in, which is
Amiga.
all of the languages that you have listed, Steve.
I said an amiga. I saw a friend. Mercy, you are my friend.
yes, I am your friend.
Can I ask a question as an uncultured outsider? I just am trying to wrap my head around this. So you birthed her? So you are her...
No. I came from lady in ground next to this one.
Oh.
And I heard her cry.
You sing me music in my mind.
I sing music in mind, in nightmares.
Like
but
horses.
Like marmalade.
Like a marmalade.
Elias is exchanging very quick, like very confused looks between the two of them. It's like, right. And then he's gonna lean over to Vinny and be like, I'm gonna ask you about this later. I'm not sure I understand what's happening.
That's okay.
I mean, you ask Therath because she knows my people. I don't know them, but she knows many and where we come from. We come from inside of undead.
Wait,
They are our sarcophagi or incubators.
Right. Okay.
And you, and Belle points to Delia, you, what is under here? It keeps moving. Do you have
She
pets?
goes ahead and like pushes back her.
Oh, look, they look soft.
Well, that's new.
Can you
Yeah, so
hear
actually,
very well?
you guys, she had not had taken her hood off until right now. So you guys wouldn't have like seen her, I guess. She would have just kind of looked like a person.
Again, this one's just full of surprises.
They're so pretty. May I touch?
She goes ahead.
They'll just very gently, like, strokes one of the ears. Oh, it is softer than I thought it would be. I like that. I like that on my hands.
I didn't think you guys would actually be able to hear it because it's very soft, but
No. We got the full effect.
nice.
Elias looks curiously at Delia. You know, the last time I saw you, your people seemed to treat you a little bit like a keepsake, something to be kept up on a shelf. You seem to be a lot more forthright than I remember. Did you raise in ranks?
No, I was still learning, but now, Mrojiti.
You feel a hand on your shoulder as you utter those words.
I would turn. Is it her or?
Oh, it is her. The fire is casting those shadows upon her wrinkled flesh and grayed hair. And she looks down at you, and with her with her left hand, she passes a folded piece of cloth to her right, and then kind of places it and her hand on your shoulder. You know what this is. I sent you a DM.
Why did you say it like that, Steve?
I know.
Jeez.
I would have it no other way.
Literally could not have said it more ominously.
Yeah. Woo.
I put my hand on top of hers
She nods.
and I smile and I look at her
She
and
pulls
I
her
nod as
hand.
well.
Perfect. She pulls her hand out, lets her fingers linger on yours in a kind of motherly care, just letting you know in that, and all of you around the fire pick up on the sense of this one is in charge. And you get that kind of approving nod. And then the elder that she once was fades back into the shadows. Delia.
I look at Elias. And say, I was a student. It seems I am no longer.
Well, I must say, love, it looks good on you.
So you are leader? Top cat?
I'm sorry, that took me by surprise.
Vin just points at Belle like, huh?
Everyone around the
Yeah.
fire starts bursting out laughing.
I have to ask.
Really, because it was so serious. That just took me by surprise so hard. I'm sorry.
Your character is the only person of this specific race or species or lineage, right? That is in the caravan?
Oh, here right now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
And you would, I guess, like, depending on how long you've been here, you guys would have seen Thedef before, but most of them look a lot more beast-like or cat-like than I do, right? Most of them, even if they were wearing a hood, you could tell it was a cat person, right? But for me, strangely enough, like, she's, has a little round face and a little button nose. But when she's wearing the hood that covers her ears and her tail, the only thing that kind of gives her away as not being like just a normal human is probably her eyes, right? And so that would be, But you've seen me before. You saw me 2 years ago, right? Probably noted that, like, as a newcomer, just kind of like, oh, well, this is a new kind of cat person that I haven't seen before, and a variation on them. Now that you've been here longer, you would have noticed, like, yeah, I'm probably the most human-like cat person you have seen.
I think that Elias in his he's only been in this country for a very short amount of time, has learned to, like, part of, I think, surviving in this land as an outsider, as an immigrant, is just rolling with the punches. If you ask a question about every single superstition or seemingly, like, impossible thing that happens, you would do nothing else for the day. Yeah. And so he didn't know what the eyes were in the cart on the way here, but once you took down the head, you kind of saw, like, a bit of, like, a realization in him. This is, like, framed now in a way that even his, like, relatively uncultured through the Mütvian lens mind understands.
Yeah, and you said, sorry, that she's kind of walked away from us now, right? To the Game Master.
Do you turn and look to see where she went, or?
Yes, I turned to look at her. After I say that to Elias, and then I turn to her.
You have a character sheet now, right? Give me a perception check. For those of you that don't know Pathfinder, insight checks, etc., are all handled through one thing called perception. I'm loathing that we just ran out of wine.
Listen here, okay? We're enthusiastic connoisseurs.
A 13, but I also have, I believe, a +6 to perception, so that's a 19.
What you see... Oh, fuck. Okay. God damn it, I love these moments. Her fingers linger just for a moment, as a mother would to a child who's about to leave the nest. For those of you around the fire who are particularly perceptive, you can see that there's a forlorn goodbye. She steps away and realizes that her role in this circle is no more. You, Delia, also can see that she has now stepped back some maybe 6-7 feet, literally taken several steps back, gazed lovingly upon the fire, held her hand up in like a mystical sort of, I now, like, this is the barrier, and I am no longer a part of it. She stepped away and joined the northern fire. After a couple of minutes, as you all engage in conversations, you can see that a couple of people stretched out, and some began to set up tents, and then the one who is bald, he comes over and he has like half of a carcass of chicken in his hand, and he's
We are going to go to bed soon. But if you decide to stay here, we'll be around. But
Why are your words coming out slow?
there's no reason at all.
And then your eyes look past him and back over towards the fire, and all I can see is, "Ah!"
They seem happy. Unlike that other one who was behind the big ears over here that looked really sad. Maybe they should have party over there.
So the big man kind of looks down at you and says,
Oh, no. She will be fine. There's no reason to. Whatever I was going to say. I come. What?
Does anyone know what this one is saying? I don't.
Yes, I know what this one is saying.
Honestly, Bell, I wouldn't worry too much about this one. He's having super special adult time based off the beverage he drank.
Super special adult time. I can see the spirits. I make joke because this is called spirits. Yes.
He is speaking the
You
language.
drank the spirits?
I drank
No,
this.
I don't think that is good. You should spit that out.
No, with Mütvia, always drink. Well, we used to drink this spirit. Fuck this.
and he tosses his mug across.
Listen, you you six have you
Six. And the air around him gets a little bit more solid.
have been not chosen because Kirsia has no brain like this.
He tries to struggle through his drunken words.
I don't understand.
I don't either. It's totally just let him finish.
Okay.
When he says Kirasil, those of you who know Mütvia understand that the Drosti, not quite above Nordaga, more lateral, acknowledge Kirasil as the watcher of the roads that is between worlds. An auspicious occasion has occurred, a meeting of people. Typically, the Drosti will take a look at this and go, oh, we need this and that, and we must tell the fortunes and make sure that, and they do. And in so doing,
I this well good. This is
and he waves his hand over everyone at the fire.
we will move on through the woods.
And his eyes, hidden by shadows cast by the fire, start to gaze at Delia.
You have been chosen to lead them in the ways of the roads. You have been given something that will assist. And she has said that one of them must draw. I bid you all a safe and very happy night here in this land. We will watch you as much.
And he falls over.
Poor baby Bolivar.
You see a couple of guys come up, go, Boulevard! And they come over, they end up picking up, like there's a trail of dirt, just like two lanes where his heels are digging in as they drag him off to the northern fire.
I crave eating dirt. I don't know why.
I was going to discourage you from that, but I honestly, we're in Mütvia. It may be some miracle cure for all I know. And Elias is going to turn his attention to Dahlia. Or is it Delia or Dahlia above table?
Delia. Delia. Delia.
Yeah.
Delia, dear.
You see that as they were dragging him away, she kind of like follows them and is just kind of looking in that direction. So she probably has her back to you.
Delia, do you have any idea what he just talked to her? He seemed to say a lot.
Yes. We celebrate today for a meeting of peoples, for a new path for all of us. You will see in time.
You
But
can,
for now, drink, celebrate,
Delia,
and we sleep,
Time.
and we start in the morning.
Delia, you can feel the thing, the object that the Virojiti has handed you. It shifts in your hand expectantly.
Would she know to do it before they went to bed or first thing in the morning?
First meeting, set the stage. It's one of those things. However, you can interpret that however you wish.
Even though he's not at the table presently, Elias is going to lean over to Vinny like, this might be some cold shit. Honestly, we might want to wrap this up.
She, her ears just like twitch. She doesn't look at you. She does not look at you.
Oh,
but her ear twitches because she's just listening.
Elias's face like doesn't break, and he's gonna like return to the.
You want something. You are looking for something. Yes? And she's talking to Elias.
I mean,
There is a longing in your heart.
okay. I am familiar with a parlor trick or two. Sure, I'll play along. I'll bite. Yeah, I'm longing for something.
You don't have to say it. That's okay. But think of this as your first step on that path to claim what you want. It is up to you. I can't make you. I can only attempt to veer you in the right direction.
Then there's Belle just listening.
And I promise I will do my best.
So I just want to make sure I've got the facts right. You know that I'm longing something, which I mean, you can make the argument, aren't we all? But you can help me find the object or source of my longing. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. And no.
Well, which one is it? Yes or no?
Elias doesn't look at Belle, but does like a little bit of like a.
It will all become clear. Here.
Why
Let's
is
take the
everybody
first
in this
step
country
together.
so fucking cryptic all of the time? Can someone say a straight goddamn sentence?
Did they come out of a graveyard? Is that why they come out of crypt?
The other horse is named Lavender.
Oh, and Belle stands up to go over to Mercy, who they're now gonna go and feed the horses.
I need a fucking drink. Where, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so I would probably assume right after you guys have been kind of playing with the horses and Elias has been drinking himself,
Numb. Yep.
into like oblivion. Right before she feels like everybody's kind of, loosened up a little around the campfire and is getting ready to go to bed, she would kind of go around to gather you all and bring you all kind of around the campfire again. And she would say, here, before our first meeting comes to an end, let's take this first step together.
Where are we going? Where are we taking steps to?
Elias looks at, Chris, when you were gone, Elias whispered to you that he thinks this might be a cult, what Delia's talking about. And so he is like elbowing you as in a way to like emphasize, like, see?
It's just a drosty. It's okay. You'll be fine. You'll be okay.
So you guys, as we all sit around the campfire again, like a little like drunk with like the merriment and laughter, you guys see her bring out the wrapped thing that you saw the Vrojiti place on her shoulder, and she like carefully unwraps it. You guys would see that it is a deck of cards. I don't know how many of you would know what it is or have like heard of it, but it's weird because when you look at her, you look at it. It's hard to not look at it after she's kind of unwrapped it, right? It's like, you want to like look away, but you can't. There's like a draw to the cards. Like the cards are basically like, you feel like if you listened hard enough, you could hear something. And so she brings the cards out, and they're, I would assume, like the little stumps we've been sitting on and stuff, places the cloth upon it, and then the cards upon the stump. And if our illustrious game master can tell us what we see.
A series of cards that just fanned out. I'm assuming that, did you fan them out in front of you? Well, fucking look it on here. God damn it, I love this shit. You see a fanned out series of cards that are open for anyone to draw. The only thing I need to know is who is going to draw.
I will enthusiastically draw a card. Just like hop up and...
Anyone else?
Wait,
Elias?
I'm going to see Vin. Elias sees Vin does it and trust Vin enough to know that he wouldn't like put himself in a dangerous situation. So again, I'm just going to chalk it up to weird Mütvian nonsense.
I just look at Elias like, win in Mütvia, huh?
Well,
I like Vin.
Is there anyone else who is drawing from the deck? Two.
Yes. I think we all are taking
Yes.
one. Yes.
Everyone is.
Okay. So while Tojaro sleeps, the five of you draw cards. We're going to take a 5-minute intermission.
Oh shit!
Okay.
Oh, I need to know if that's part of this fun
I wish
or not.
that was it. I wish.
So we just went live with everyone laughing and no one knowing why.
I love that.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Somebody pulled something out of their ass, and that's all I'm going to say. You know?
We won't tell you who it is or what it was. And then Mütvia.
So
When in fucking Mütvia?
we took an extended break. Now, I want to say this publicly. This channel, Vox and Quill, used to be known as Evandale, and we've been running for about 5 years. Very infrequently do we have anywhere in between 25 and 30 viewers. Now, we have
It is not a comment of, oh my God, the channel is growing. It is a comment of the skill and talent which is at this table. You have been telling an engrossing story.
And the GM.
I've been pulling back. Either way, I want to give acknowledgement to where it belongs. Having said that, allow me to do my job. The fire sits, burning, shadows cast above brow. A deck of cards laid out before you. Those of you who have chosen, raise your hands. You understand at that moment of commitment, you are now locked in. It is something that extends from beyond. Furthermore, you understand that the deck has chosen how many cards you will draw. You also understand that at the moment that you had the will, your exertion upon reality, how many you will draw, the deck will choose for you. Going around, Elias. This is a D4. You're either going to choose 1 through 4 cards. Well, you're going to choose 1 through 4. You, Elias, only feel compelled to draw 1.
Ooh,
Mercy, D4. You feel compelled to draw 1.
Yes.
Vin, you were so willing. You feel compelled to draw 3. Bell, freshly arisen.
Come on, 4, 4, 4, 4.
It can kill you.
I know.
I was going to say, I feel
Elle
like
doesn't know that.
we learned about the lethality of this, and I'm like,
Elle's
please be one.
excited and probably just takes a handful.
The Fate deck is Mutvia's version of the deck of many things. 1.
Oh. Okay.
Delia, you also raised your hand if I'm not mistaken.
I feel like I feel like I wouldn't draw a card. Like I would present it for them to draw a card, kind of like inviting them to.
Deck releases its hold on you, and you feel no compulsion to draw. Elias, you draw your first card.
I don't understand how we play this. You only play with 1 card. All right. I'm gonna pick something approximating the center. Delia.
You pull it back. I apologize. This suddenly turned into a mukbang.
Isn't it really?
Mukbang.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Steve and Aaron's like sharing these delicious snacks. I'm like,
I think I have
No.
some.
My angel of a wife decided to make me popcorn.
It's
Because
garlic.
it's garlic butter. It's that's why. Honestly,
So
that's why
good.
intermission took so long, because popcorn takes
Fair.
fucking priority. So, all right. Anyhow,
girl, you put garlic butter on that. Okay. This different time, different place. But that's
Friend, I
iconic.
cannot even impart to you the importance of this right now. So it's visceral, it's primal, and I want to eat the popcorn.
all right. Anyhow, so I'm sorry. I got primal. I got a little juicy. When you go to pull the card, you can see it. Its primary colors are black and blue. A starry night sky occupies it. You can see the night depicted on the card, and as such, you look at your hands and realize that they can grab anything now and throw it at somebody to do damage. You now permanently gain the untrained improvisation feat. This allows you to pick up anything and use it as a weapon without penalty.
Okay. I'm new to Pathfinder, so I don't have the context.
It's really
but
good.
from reading faces, it seems. Oh yeah.
That's great.
We now move on over to Mercy. How many cards? 1?
I picked 1. I'm gonna die.
We now roll.
Don't you dare.
By the way, Elias, as you absorb what the card can do, you look at it, and then it becomes a little bit, like, gradually becomes transparent, until finally you're only looking at your hand and you feel it no longer. And Delia, you can feel the weight of the deck get an additional card in its hand that cannot be drawn, as heavy as stone. Another one is drawn. Mercy, when you look at the card, you see ice, a single icicle drawn down, one that is piercing a heart. You know that this can be bad, and before you even fully process it, you gain enfeebled 1. Also, I need you to choose a limb that you can no longer use.
Shut the fuck up.
Fucking
These
Aaron
were the
always
stakes.
losing fucking
These were the
limbs, dude.
stakes.
Beginning.
This was not clearly.
When Elias drew the card, I was like, damn, we're getting feats. I should have taken a damn card. I don't want to anymore. I'm good.
No,
Okay,
we're good.
I
So,
didn't know what the stakes were. I'm sorry. Okay. Mhm.
Yeah. So Zora, Mercy, is gonna take the right hand because that's what I had last time. We'll just go with that.
So,
We could probably make you hook.
Probably make me hook. I know a lizard lady.
keep
I love
in...
a good loophole.
Does it just like fall off suddenly?
No. It is there, and then it's just a, oh my god,
Yeah, she
oh my
can't
god.
like, feel it anymore.
Yeah, Delia, you're the deck bearer, so you describe it.
Oh, so it's more like, imagine like the nerves on her hand just don't work anymore. So the hand is there, right? And you can move the arm because it's attached at the shoulder, but it kind of just hangs limply now.
I go and I smack Belle with it. Hey!
Why did you try to injure me?
I didn't. It just doesn't work anymore. I can go like this, and if I go fast enough, it goes like this.
That happened after you drew this card. Delia, what the fuck? Maybe a little bit of warning might have made us make more informed decisions.
No. Can you use it as weapon to fight off Brute if he gets angry?
Well, I don't
Why
know.
do
Let's
you
try.
keep
And I
calling
go
me
over to
brute?
Vin.
I don't
And I go, can I use it on weapon?
So
As weapon?
you know that you are physically weakened, okay? And because it is
yeah.
enfeebled 1, you're going to take a status penalty to the condition value of strength-based rolls, which will be like stuff like athletics, etc., and DCs, including strength-based melee attacks, damage rolls that are also strength-based, etc.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
What tangible shift does Elias experience after pulling his card? I'm curious, like how he would know, or what he would feel, or what that would look
The
like.
You
beautiful part.
become John Wick.
Oh, as one does. No further questions. All right.
There you go. Mercy, you also understand that you are in need of a good amount of healing and that your condition will disappear with that.
Cool. I quietly, because I don't understand what's happening, and it sounds like, I think to Mercy this might just be growing pains. So she sort of just like gently shifts her soup. What?
No, when you go to pick that card, you can. And your entire arm just starts going numb, and you're like, what? Or
As
you know
somebody-
what comes from the card.
As someone with nerve damage, that is an incredibly accurate description.
I don't think you should all pick your cards anymore.
Well, we have already
Elias got
rolled them. So
You and I see you with 3, and I'm like, okay.
I thought I only grabbed 1. And I'm rolling like 3.
I meant to grab 3, but I only have 1. Did we somehow switch?
Wow. Will versus the Dex Will, right? Chris, Vin, how many do you feel compelled to draw?
I was compelled to draw 3.
So I'm going to do 1, 2,
Jesus fucking Christ, dude.
3.
I'm scared.
I'm terrified and I love this at the same time.
The stakes escalated in a way that both Aetherius and Elias don't fully understand, and that's the most terrifying thing.
Well, we chose to draw them before we knew what the fuck we were doing.
I trusted Ben. This is honestly on you, Chris.
Yeah, that's my bad.
Oh, you have. Okay. Vin.
Yeah?
The fates have conspired against you.
Oh, fuck me.
Wow.
I want you to choose one spell that you can cast as an innate spell once. It is going to be blindness, regenerate, or true sight. Blindness is something that you would cast on someone else. You can cast it once, and once you've cast it, it is gone. You must choose within the next 60 seconds, and the effect of that spell or your ability to cast it will be applicable or available to you until sundown.
Regenerate.
You now have that until sundown. You also begin to feel there will be a reason why you need that.
Cool.
I hit
Secondly,
you with my arm.
that is your first card. The second card, you look at it. All you see are flames. All-consuming flames. You can feel along the sides of your person. I need you to choose 3 items right now.
Just 3 items?
You heard me.
I don't know what
Damn,
items.
DM Daddy.
Seriously.
I don't have anything, really.
Well, then you're going to make it up until it's done.
Jesus
Okay.
Christ.
Fucking healing potion,
1,
rope,
2,
and a fucking tackle box.
And all 3 are consumed by flame.
Cool.
Destroyed off of your person, which means that those 3 items, the next time you gain them on your character sheet, will be gone. As soon as you get a rope, gone. As soon as you get a healing potion, gone.
Oh, that's gonna
fuck.
suck.
What?
Oh,
Wow.
shit.
Then you draw
Context clues suggested this would bad, and that was borne out by the facts.
the third one. Black. Darkness consumes you, and all light no longer does you favors. Your eyes no longer work. You are blinded.
Cool. Great. That's
Like,
I'm
oh,
having trouble
blackness?
seeing what this card says.
Like, okay, clarifying. Like suddenly vision is blackness, or is it black and white, or is it really blurry?
I do not see anything.
Blind people do not describe their lack of vision
That's
as
a good
black. They describe it as nothing. There's simply no orbits in the skull. And so is the case with Vin. His eyes shrivel, and you can see the white ooze dribble out of his skull.
Jesus Christ, dude.
That's what happened to me, but in reverse.
Well,
Elias puts a hand on Belle's back, just trying to like discourage, like this is not time.
Belle, you also draw 1 card, if I'm not mistaken.
And when you pulled it,
So nervous.
you look at it because you feel compelled to do so. It is a black card, but in the middle of it, a starburst, illuminating those things that are hidden. For the next 24 hours, you gain the Nimble Dodge feat.
Ooh.
For those of you who don't know, Nimble Dodge is going to give you a +2 bonus to your armor class on the next triggering attack.
I don't know what you guys were cards you were pulling, but they were not good ones.
No, they
I
were
feel
not.
like I can do a backflip.
I'm just going to remain hopeful and try to use this regeneration spell that I suddenly feel like I can do.
Elias is like, so, okay, hold on. So, Vin's eyes have physically shriveled into his skull.
Yes.
Okay. I think that's noticeable. I feel like if your friend's eyes, like, shrivel, that's like, you might clock that.
He's got vanilla ice cream on a 98-degree New York City day melting out of his fucking eye holes. Yes.
I'm gonna ask you, Chris, how does Vin react to being blinded, so I know how to react?
Well, no pain was described, so I feel like I'm just perplexed.
Oh, no! This is entirely up to you. You don't get to use me as a scapegoat. You can do whatever the fuck you want at this point.
I feel like on the last card he was just like staring at it and he's just like, I can't read this. As his fucking vision fades out.
What do you mean you can't read this? And Elias is gonna look to your. Oh shit! What the fuck?
What's happening?
Delia!
See,
Why would
that is what happened
my
to me,
God.
but in reverse.
Elias, like, without being able to see, is gonna like bell. Like, hold on.
Elias!
Okay, Delia, you need to fix this. What the fuck is this?
What's wrong? What is wrong with me?
Oh,
I forgot all of this was happening because of me.
Elias?
You know what? I feel like cursing my friends tonight.
Why
Delia is straight up like, you guys want to play a game? You want to get some like Uno in? You're trying to play some like.
Mütvia is the only country in Evandale that actively
roulette.
gaslights.
Yeah.
So I am
what
like,
it's
I've got
called now,
thin
just-
shoulders, and I'm like, I've screamed at Delia. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
So what is wrong?
I'm trying to think like how she would react, but like
Like this is your first time. Is it your first time using the cards?
yes, I've never actually touched the desk myself before.
I'm gonna have Elias. Is this your first time fucking doing this? Why is he blind?
I am blind, but why did you scream whenever I said I was blind?
Just don't. Okay. And Elias looks sternly at Delia, like,
I
this
feel
is
like-
on you.
I feel like she wouldn't have like made like a face or anything. Like you wouldn't see like her expression change as all of you pulled the cards, right? Because this is just something to her that kind of, you know, at this point, she would probably even voice it out loud, like, that was not me. That was you.
I feel like that's a little
choose the
victim
cards.
blaming.
You choose the cards.
As
You
someone who
choose your fate. Everything can be changed. Everything happens for a reason.
Then
The
understanding that
land has spoken.
Fuck. Fuck.
Shit,
someone
you're
who
like
has
my
been-
new favorite player.
Beauty is
Like,
more Mutvian than
shit.
Mutvians are.
upon those words, the land has spoken. Vin, I'm not going to tell you how your character feels. That ain't my job in life. What I will tell you is, though, that was no, this shit ain't on me. You raised your hand motherfucker. And so and you can feel that when you said, yeah, this is and upon reflection, every single one of you, we signed up with the fates. You can feel that all the way down here, like a very hard pill to swallow that requires an additional drink of water just to get it down. When it finally sinks down and you can feel that little bit of tightness in your chest, and then finally it just is sitting there like a lead lump in your stomach. You understand what you chose was of your own doing. Of course, your characters can react beyond that. But as
Sorry.
I'm gonna help Vin like sit or like just move to a place.
I put my hand on Elias and just say, he will be okay.
I hate this country. I hate this. And Elias is like, Vin is the one touchstone, right? Like VTM style is the one piece of like connection, interpersonal or otherwise, especially after like backstory stuff that Elias has. And the idea that he's been put in the way of harm is like, all right, okay.
He will not come to harm because you will not let him. You hate this place, and yet the fates have given you a gift.
I'm going to be real honest with you, Drosty. As far as Mütvia goes, this pretty fucking sucks.
I need everyone here to make a will save, including you, Delia.
As everyone's rolling, Belle just kind of like sits back and is like, I'm happy with my choice of card.
I got a nat 20 on that.
Hell yeah.
Nice job.
Oh no.
Here we go. Oh, don't you dare say no.
Don't you fucking say you critically failed that. No.
No, stop it.
She get a 1.
Wait. Doesn't everybody have it like an inspiration?
Yeah,
everyone
hero
here
dice.
has
Oh my
one
God.
hero
You
point.
can reroll.
Okay.
Take it.
That was the like most
Remember?
distressing one I have rolled in a long time.
Oh, you don't have a character sheet yet, do you? Because
I
you would
don't.
also have a plus something to your will saves.
I was also going to ask you like above table Steve. So all of us like Elias is an oracle, but I don't know that narratively that is how Elias would self-describe at this point. Like his connection to the land is something that his only relationship to the land, I think, is in relationship to his sister, kind of like usurping the prince or the domain that he
you
had.
could
So he
always
doesn't
think
know
about
any of
it.
this stuff.
You could always think about it as like maybe you are becoming one, not that you have been one.
Okay. I mean, that works because Aetherius, the player, is like unfamiliar with this system. So I'm just going to roll with that. in
Yuri,
terms of the role play.
here's the GM title. You go. That was fucking fire.
I literally have a spot that opened up in a game, and I'm about to just directly hand it over to Yuri to be in it.
I'm so happy to like not be GMing something. I haven't been a player in a campaign in so long.
Let them have
so
this.
hard.
When you
team.
and I were talking, Yuri, I picked up on that, and I was like, friend, mood, I get that. Let's go. Having said that, what are your will saves? We'll go around the table. Okay. Erin? No,
18.
Mercy, 18. Chris, you got a 20. Belle?
16.
How much?
16.
16. And Delia?
15.
Only Elias failed.
No.
I don't have a
Wait, did you
character
use
sheet
your
for a
reroll?
bonus.
Well, you
know.
rolled
I
it.
did.
That's
was
fair.
the-
That's fair.
the
So
reroll.
I'll say that for a will save, chances are you would have something akin to a +6. Who else does not have that?
Me.
Okay, so we're going to say a +6 on average. Okay? We're going to go across the board, so you would have a 24. Chris, you have a character sheet and you got a 20?
Yeah, I don't know where my will is on this character sheet, though.
Left-hand
It's
side.
on defenses.
Left-hand side.
You guys are using VTT for this?
Where's
I haven't seen.
I'm on Hero
Foundry.
Lab.
So if you look on where are you looking, Chris?
I found it now. I didn't see the icons at the top where I could switch between. And so I found it now. So
Okay.
plus 7. So,
So-
it's 27.
27. Okay. On
22.
22. There we go. And Delia?
I rolled like shit. Still a 15 with the +6.
Oh, I just added +6 to my original roll.
Well, because I rolled really
Yeah.
bad,
That's fine.
and
That's
since I
fine.
have my character sheet, I had already added my +6.
Oh,
So it is then Delia who does not receive it. Here's what the 4 of you receive. First, what you see. Delia's eyes holding the hands, having said what they said. You can see irises go white. Eyes start rolling back in the head. Delia leans back, and the cards in hand fall in her lap. Just enough of a grasp around them that they cannot be easily taken. The cards have spoken and are starting to take over the drawer one, the one who drew them. The one who dealt them. Elias, Mercy, and Vin, and Bell. You each understand something. What is the very first thought that comes to mind of your own futures? You only have approximately 5 seconds to communicate it. Feel free to raise your hand when you're ready, and then I will call on you. I don't want to put anybody under pressure, but you can feel the weight of the fates on you. Elias, the fates call out, and then Mercy, you come after.
My brother is watching.
Mercy?
I lost an arm. What's next?
Who's next?
is it 5 words?
No, 5
10
seconds.
seconds.
Oh,
Vin.
I'm surely doomed now because I'll never be able to see whether or not my runes are showing.
You do know that you have regeneration until sundown.
Yeah, that I was going to do that.
Do you want to take that into account?
Okay, yeah. Let me think again for a second then.
Not a problem. Yeah, you
I'll
would
go.
know that. On.
Yeah.
when do these burns go away from my fingers?
Burns?
Yeah, because remember she touched the
She touched the fire.
she touched the
Oh
fire.
yeah, and Ben and Elias like, okay, hold
She's
on.
like, why does this hurt? And now she's wondering when the burns are gonna go away.
You would understand that that'd be about 72 hours before the pain stops. Normal.
Cool.
Normal type of stuff. That's all you're... Okay. Okay.
She's
That's...
kind of empty
No thought.
brained right now.
No thoughts.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I'll act as your brain. It's okay.
Oh fuck. Shit.
Burns is what you were
Okay.
last thinking. Burns it is. That's good. That's okay.
Fuck nuts.
Delia's eyes are still rolled back as the realization of fate starts to rain down upon everyone. But the last person to have it is Vin.
And at that is that was irresponsible of me, and I should not be leading Elias into things like that. That is my thought.
Ah, you've realized your weakness, which is called failure of leadership. You can feel that weight coming down on you.
Elias
This-
would have no knowledge of the regeneration, right? So to
Correct.
him, in this
Correct.
moment, he thinks that you are permanently, irreparably blinded.
That
I just
is-
okay, got
That's
it.
a very good assumption. Having said that, I've written it down. Each of you now understand what fate lies in front of you. Delia.
What does that mean?
You are the most ominous person I've ever met.
Fucking Mütvia, I hate it here.
I guess we're gonna find out next week.
No, we're not playing next week.
Cliffhangers.
No.